when the perfect used RV is going to arrive. And if it's here, it won't last long.
And that's NobleRV.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
The cookie that gives back is back. Get a holiday smile cookie at Tim's from November 17th to 23rd. 100% of proceeds are donated to local charities, community groups, and Tim Hortons Foundation camps. Grab yours today.
Remaining cyber safe is critical. Check in with your loved ones. Chat to your kids about online safety. Warn elders about scams. Let's ensure everyone's secure in this interconnected world. Learn more at getcybersafe.gc.ca. Remember, being informed is the first line of defense.
This month in Sports History Moment is brought to you by Discount Diesel Parts.
On November 27th, 1954, Edmonton won the 42nd Grey Cup. With a narrow 26-25 victory over Montreal, Edmonton notched its first championship and what would end up being a long list of titles throughout their history. The winning score was picked up on a 90-yard fumble return by Jackie Parker.
Hi, folks. This is Big Al from Discount Diesel Parts. With over 70 years' experience, Interstate McBee is a leader in the heavy-duty diesel engine parts industry. And as an authorized dealer for over 20 years, we've been serving customers with those high-quality parts. Gasket kits, water and oil pumps, turbos, fuel injectors, heads, in-frame kits, and at a great price, too. Reach us at discountdiesel.ca and know that Discount Diesel's got the parts to get it done.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Fires a dart to Darlene. Tried to turn it back to Thompson and off the giveaway. Here comes Montagapani with Draisaitl. Trailer one-timer score. Jack Roslovic has tied this game, putting it upstairs on Ellis. Off a brilliant feed from Draisaitl, and Roslovic continues to stay high. That's his 7th.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Only the second Dallas penalty of the game backs him up 5. Prescott able to step into it. It's got Pickens. Good move. Nice cut back and a touchdown.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
In exchange for Yusuf Nurkic. Notorious Big 3 throws it down, elevating, getting everybody to their feet. That was monstrous.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 543, Tuesday, November the 18th. It was a Buffalo beatdown last night as the Oilers get whomped by the Sabres by a score of 5-1. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial on your morning drive. Wherever you're heading out on this Tuesday morning. You can also watch us right now on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We would appreciate that. We're also on X, Facebook, even Instagram. As always, we're streaming on all the streaming services, iHeart Radio, the TuneIn app, even sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of the show, you can catch you up by finding it where all the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Just subscribe. It's free. Select the auto download button. You'll never miss a second of the show. Yes, 5-1. Oilers take one. A hard one to the solar plexus in Buffalo last night. Now, the Buffalo Sabres have 2 fewer wins than the Edmonton Oilers. Everyone talking about the Sabres being the worst team in the East, at least. Worst team in the East and have made the playoffs for 14 years. They have 2 fewer wins than where the Oilers are at this stage of the season. I'm going to read you something a little bit here from, well, I'm not even going to say where it's from. Not enough commitment. The awareness, not even close to being what it is. No sense of urgency. Not willing to pay the price. Not enough will to match the skill. Too many high danger chances. Too many guys cheating on plays. Losing to guys that are, lower tier guys in the lineup, being outplayed by them, as in Olivier and Coyle. So that's the exact same words that you could say about last night's game. And many games this year for the Edmonton Oilers when you think about it. Last night the Oilers didn't lose to 2 really good players. Alex Tuch is a hell of a player. Tage Thompson is a beast out there. Outstanding player. Oilers didn't lose to those guys last night in Buffalo. They lost to Beck Mallenstein. Hadn't scored for 56 games. They lost to Colton Ellis. Picked up on waivers. 4th starter, whatever it is. Made 32 saves. They lost to Tyson Kozak, a 7th-round draft pick who came out to center ice and squared off with Connor McDavid on the opening faceoff and outplayed McDavid and shut him down and actually shut down the big line when it was put together in the second period of McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. They lost to Isaac Rosen. He's a 1st-round draft pick, but he's just cutting his teeth. They lost to Noah Ostlund, who was picked in the same draft. 5 or 6 picks later, I think it's 5 picks later, than Matthew Savoy. Big game for Noah Ostlund last night. Scored 2 goals. This was a chance for Matt Savoy to come into Buffalo and make a statement. Never happened. They had one guy going last night. One guy. Jack Roslovic has been the only guy that's been consistent in the last several weeks. They have absolutely nothing to show from their bottom half of the forward group. 0. Buffalo dead last in the East, 14 years out of the playoffs, and they ran roughshod over the Oilers. I would imagine that our text line at 833-401-1440 will be quite busy. So the Oilers dropped to 2-2 on this trip. They will be in Washington tomorrow and then Tampa Bay on Thursday. They close things out on Saturday, a rematch of the last 2 Stanley Cup championships when they take on the Florida Panthers. All right, let's get to some text at 833-401-1440. From Doug, Kevin, you tell me what's wrong with the Oilers. What's different or wrong with the dressing room this year? What does it take to make the room give 2 shoots when they're giving out on the ice? I just find there are so many questions, not enough answers. Always starts at the top. I'll tell you what, Doug, if they had the answers, they probably would have fixed them by now. I like this one from Matt and Leduc. What's worse, 5-1 loss to Buffalo, or he says 7-1 to Colorado? Actually, don't give the Oilers too much credit there, Matt. It was 9-1 to Colorado. I don't know what's worse. I think the Buffalo game. Colorado's the best team in the league. And they came in here and blew the doors off the Oilers. They weren't even close to being in the game. Buffalo, I think maybe Buffalo's worse. 5-1. And you're coming off an emotional night where Zach Hyman returned on Saturday, and you never trailed against Carolina on Saturday night, but you won in overtime. You have a day off. You have the potential to do something and go 3-2 so far in the trip. I mean, maybe Duke was wrong last week when he said 6 points on this road trip. Maybe that was too high. X-Ray Gogs, KK, I tried to hang in the end, but I just couldn't watch after the 5th goal. It was so painful. I think you're like a lot of people, X-Ray. And I think a lot of people maybe not even didn't get to that 5th goal. Maybe they tapped out when it was 4-1 with 2-3 minutes left. I bet a lot of people did at that. 7:08 in Edmonton. And again, Roslovic, when I looked at it, and we had a couple texts about Roslovic here, he was about the only guy that I saw involved. Schwackhammer says, morning, guys. Roslovic, watch his celebration of his goal. I look into it too much, maybe. The Oilers look disinterested in waiting for someone to take the lead. Maybe are you talking about emotion after a goal? No one raises their stick in the air anymore for the Oilers. No one's fired up. That was a 1-1 goal. Got the Oilers back in the game. Excellent pass by Leon Draisaitl, a one-timer. But after that, I mean, there was nothing. There was nothing in the second period. Bowen Byram, that seam play, that's, Kozak's on the ice against the McDavid line with Krebs. Good shot. The 3-1 Beck Mallenstein tip, I mean, that's a tip. It bounced off the ice and up. I believe that's fourth line versus fourth line. Rasmus Dahlin was really good last night. You think about what he's going through. Think about all the stuff that Rasmus Dahlin is going through. His fiance just had a heart transplant. He's been back and forth. We talked about it with Bill Hoppy from Buffalo News yesterday. I mean, think about that, what he's thinking about and coming back. And Dahlin was one of the best players on the ice last night. In the third period, the Oilers turned the puck over at will. Stu Skinner made 2 really good saves, maybe 3, before Oslin scores the 4-1 goal from the draw. Now, this is, I mean, you could talk about guys, and I don't know why it just seems to be coming back on defense for me. I think a lot of people, they defer to Bouchard. They defer to Nurse. To me, Jake Wallman has been unbearable to watch this year defensively. He's on the wall at the face-off with his guy, and that's Noah Oslin, a 5'10", 175-pound guy. And he's out-muscled, pushed off the puck, and Oslin swings around, has an uncontested shot through a screen to turn the lights out on the Oilers at 4-1. 5-1, the empty netter by Tage Thompson. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. I think the fans are, I mean, we've seen it so many times before, but it's more about the effort and the will, and I think fans are pretty frustrated right now. Just by our text line, I could tell you that. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne at 7:10. I was hoping, Duke, that you had a Tropicana Orangeman game last night, so you didn't have to watch this one.
Fortunately not. No, this had my my full and largely undivided attention because Monday Night Football wasn't too tightly contested of a contest either. So I was just flipping back and forth my eyes from one screen to the next from a lopsided game, really. And I think you hit so many nails on the head there, Kevin, in your opening riff about what is plaguing this team and what is frustrating about this team on a night-to-night basis. And it does come down to so much of the little things. And I'm right there with you where it the biggest thing for me, and maybe this is a personal preference, like when I'm watching hockey, what I like to see is the little things. And like defensively, like defensive coverage, they don't have a sniff. They don't have a clue inside their own zone so much of the time. And I know you talked about Noah Oslin's second goal where he kind of like tips it past Wallman in the corner and then comes around completely unchecked for the better part of 5+ seconds before shooting it in. His first goal, yes, it's on the power play. Yes, it's a great skill move to the inside, but he also goes untouched for the entirety of the maneuver from the side of the net to round right onto the top of the crease. And Wallman, he's got his stick down trying to block a pass to the hypothetical back door where there isn't a player within 40 feet.
Yeah, and Nurse is behind him.
And Nurse is on the other side of him and coming in too late to make the check from behind. So it is, I really can't drum up any better word than frustrating right now for how this team is playing and watching them on a game-to-game basis, because like we've watched them for the past 2 years and know what they're capable of. And this is largely the same group of players. And there have been changes that we thought were actually positive ones to the roster, and just nothing's really fleshing out right now. And the text about, the goal celebrations, I think is on the nose as well, that I'm not really sure this team's having very much fun right now. So it's kind of all adding up and making for a tough sled here as they hit the second half of this road trip.
A good point by you, Duke, on that first Noah Oslin goal. And the Oilers have tried that play many times. And what happens? whoever's trying it, a lot of times it's been Zach Hyman last year. He gets a cross check across the forearms because there's someone that's tight in there. But there was no one to be found. And this is a guy. This isn't Tage Thompson driving to the net. This is a guy.
There's a guy with one career NHL goal.
5'10", 5'11", 180 pounds. But if you make the investment and have the guts to go in there, good things will happen to you. Good things will happen to you. 7:13 in Edmonton. Text rolling in at 833-401. 1440. As you can imagine, a lot of texts this morning. Bobby says, morning, gentlemen. The Florida Panthers feasted on the Oilers' turnovers during the Cup Finals. Can you imagine the carnage that will take place with the current version of this Oilers defense? I think he's thinking about Saturday night. Stair Farmer Oilers defense plays like soft butter. Sask Oilers fan Skinner, and that's Jeff Skinner. Arvidsson didn't work last year. Mangiapane and Frederick this year. They've both been busts. In your opinion, is it poor free agent signings or is it systems and deployment from the coaching staff? Well, it's all of the above, I would say. I mean, Jack Roslovic has been one of the best free agent signings in the league right now with his offensive output and what he's been doing and being able. He's got 7 goals, and again, he was about the only guy that was initiating some stuff. Can talk about Podkolzin in that fight that he had with Krebs at the end of the second period. That was directly due to the hit on McDavid. Also, Krebs was the guy that, and it's an accidental slash. It's a follow through, high stick, I should say, on Wallman, who took one in the chops there. But it's more on the hit. And you heard Podkolzin say after the game, you can't have players going after or hitting our leaders, our best players. But this is up to Podkolzin. Got a text from Sean Brown last night during the game talking about, well, that should have been dealt with before that. Curtis Lazar had an opportunity. And I thank Brownie for pointing that out to me. That should have been taken care of much earlier than when Podkolzin does it. And that scrum didn't happen because of Podkolzin looking for Krebs. That was just, an after the fact because of what had happened with the late shot, which wasn't that late, by Wallman on Ellis. But again, yesterday when Bill Hoppy was on, he said, the Sabres are a little bit better than people think, and give them a little bit of credit here. But to that fact, did anyone really hear of Tyson Kozak, Beck Mallenstein, Josh Dunn, Isaac Rosen, and Colton Ellis before last night? Those were 5 of the best players they had on the ice. And Noah Ostlund. I think some people had heard of Noah Ostlund, but because he had really good World Juniors. But other than that, no one knew who these guys are. And those are the 5-6 guys that blew the doors off the Oilers. When we come back, we'll bust this down a little bit more with Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation. Also coming up on the big program in the 8 o'clock hour, it'll be our double barrel shotgun of Hockey Insiders with Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet and Frank Saravalli from Frankly Hockey and Victory Plus TV. Paul Sir from Hoop City at 9 bells. Hey, the Toronto Raptors, 4 wins in a row, beat Charlotte 110-108 last night. So they're on a bit of a heater right now. Terry Koshin covers the Toronto Maple Leafs. Great guest, really well-spoken, good scribe. From the Toronto Sun, we'll check in at 10 o'clock, as will Connor Halley in the 10 o'clock hour from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show. When we come back, Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation will bust down. Maybe we'll talk curling. Might be better to talk about curling with Liam for a little bit. That's coming up on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
More fruit?
Check.
Satisfying texture?
Check.
3 amazing new recipes?
Check, check, check.
Let Booster Juice bowl you over with something completely different. 3 new acai bowls, loaded with delicious toppings including bee pollen, cacao nibs, and shredded coconut. Piled high on top of a refreshing blend of authentic acai, straight from Brazil. Spoon?
Check.
Booster Juice, Canada's original juice and acai bowl bar.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old man managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next Where'd I Put My Phone moment.
Local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
This hockey season, they're all in at Metal Supermarkets. They were even practicing the wave around the lunchroom table. Till Bob's soup splattered everywhere.
I'm so hungry.
Poor Bob. Oh, well, gotta love the passion. Speaking of which, their team is all in on cutting metal to your exact specifications. And fast. Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. If you're thinking about swapping your tires, well, it's that time of the year. I've been thinking about it all morning long. Fountain Tire's got up to 15% off tires right now. It's a great time to make the switch. Or, you know what? To grab a new set before the rush hits, because it's right around the corner. Everybody knows it. Check them out at fountaintire.com as we welcome back Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation. Morning, Liam. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning.
Yeah. Morning, Kevin. How you doing?
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe we want to talk about curling or something. Maybe it'd be better than talking about the Oilers already.
Yeah. The Ashes are coming up for cricket if you want to dive into that a little bit.
When is that?
What is it, or when is it?
You win.
I think it starts next week.
Oh,
so it's exciting. I love the Ashes. I can't wait to get up and just live my nights like they're days. So because they're in Australia this time around.
Have you been to the Victoria Cricket Park?
No, I don't think I have actually.
Unreal. You'd be blown away at it. You'd go, and Edmonton has such a rich history in cricket. People don't really know about it or realize it.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times actually when I've been playing soccer and all of a sudden you're right next to a cricket field, and next thing you know, you're defending and a ball just hits you on the calf. So you got to be pretty good if you can hit it that far. But yeah, it's there is a lot more cricket around here than I think people suspect. You're right.
Yes, Liam Hrobin from Oilers Nation. So, what did the eye test and your eyeballs tell you about that one last night, Liam?
They fell back into the bad habits, which they've basically had all season, but it felt like they washed away a few of them the last few games, it's probably fair to say, and it just all kind of combined into another terrible game against a team that was missing a lot of good players. Like Josh Norris didn't play for Buffalo last night, neither did Zach Benson. They obviously started goalie. What was that? His fifth career start, whatever it may be. So just a lot of sluggish 5-on-5 play at both ends of the ice, and probably needed a little bit more from your goaltending as well, I would say.
He's the last problem for me last night.
100%.
Stu Skinner. I mean, when you look at everything else in front of him, I think it's just so bad. You mentioned the guys that were out at the top of the show. I said the Oilers didn't lose to Alex Tuck, Liam. They didn't lose to Tage Thompson last night. Their two best players. They lost to Noah Ostlund. They lost to Tyson Kozak, Beck Mallenstein, Josh Dunn, Isaac Rosen, Colton Ellis. These are guys before last night I'm sure many Oiler fans had never even heard of.
Yeah, and they're depth players, and the Oilers fans might not know who the Oilers depth players are because they're not doing much either to get on the score sheet. And yeah, I was realizing that too as it's going through. And the one kid who scored, what was it, Ostlund, I think, got the fourth goal. It's like you look at the way he comes around the net and the respect the Oilers give him with the time on ice. You'd think it was Sidney Crosby skating around, the way they just allowed him to have the whole ice to himself. It's just unbelievable that every single night it feels like the other team is finding a way to make the Oilers look terrible, or it's the Oilers making themselves look terrible either way. But it's just a work ethic thing at the moment. It just seems like they just seem to have these brain farts where they just forget the whole system. And I know a lot of people have been talking about Chris Knobloch recently, but it also has to come down to the players to actually try and win this game. And they keep talking in their post games being like, well, we don't like playing like this. It's like, well, you're the ones who are playing like this. You're the ones who aren't getting out to block shots and close down space. Or if you're getting into the offensive zone, you're passing it out from the slot onto the wing and playing such perimeter hockey. And just every shot seems to come from the blue line now. It's just really the identity of this team is just fallen apart over these past, what has it been, 21 games.
Noah Ostlund's the guy you're talking about. Yeah, and he scored the first goal as well. And he scored it going in front of the net on a hard area where the Oilers still refuse to go. But you mentioned the bottom six. I mean, Liam, it's almost like it is just non-existent what these guys are not even attempting to generate. Like, I mean, what's a coach supposed to do? I have no clue.
I wonder if they're getting to the point where they have to uncomfortably healthy scratch one or two players who maybe you want to follow. Like, what point are we at with Trent Frederick? When they signed Trent Frederick, I actually didn't hate it as much as other people thought because I was trying to be optimistic about the deal. We've seen a guy in his career who has had success at 5-on-5, 17, 18 goals, a couple of seasons in a row for Boston, but he's just not been able to show up. Like Mangiapane's not been great for them. I think Adam Henrique's been probably better than he has been in the past couple of seasons with the Oilers. I haven't minded his game so much, but then even on the blue line, like they just rotate out Regula or Ty Emberson. It's like, well, Brett Kulak's really struggled so far this season, and I think the stats were pretty generous for him yesterday on the giveaways column for him too. So I just wonder when they're getting to that point, because it's not early anymore. It's definitely not late. There's a lot of time to turn this around, but at some point you have to send a bit more of a message than just benching guys in a game too. And I think at this point as well, there was all these complaining earlier on, and rightfully so, that guys like Nurse could probably get thrown in the scratch category too with some of the plays he makes. But like you look at Bouchard, like he's been able to turn it around. I think the Stars are doing better now, but these bottom guys now aren't carrying their weight, where early in the season maybe it was switched.
Well, yeah, I agree. I would be shocked if Emberson doesn't draw in for Regula here maybe as early as tomorrow, and they just keep flip-flopping those two guys anyway. But I mean, the 5-on-5 is, we've talked about it all season long. They're last or dead second to last in 5-on-5 goals against. Their shooting percentage is way down. Save percentage is next to dead last on 5-on-5. They just do not generate anything. And, you know, in my opening, I read something off the top of the show, but it was from last week. Liam, against Columbus. And you could have said the same thing about the Colorado game and so many things. Like the Colorado game, it wasn't, Nathan McKinnon had 4 points and Makar had 2, but they lost to guys like Parker Kelly. They lost to all these other guys who are battling and outplaying and out wanting it. That's the thing that I think most Oiler fans are frustrated with. Is that what you hear, with your conversations and on Oilers Nation?
100%. And I've said this a few times over the past couple of weeks. Like, I don't think hockey's an overly complicated sport when it all comes down to it. Like, you can work hard, you can go to the net, and in that way you can score some goals, like blocking some shots. And especially like in Edmonton, I think people can really rally around those type of players. Like, look at the players that people love around here. Like Ryan Smith, he was obviously a lot better than the way I'm explaining it, but like he just played around the net and scored all these goals. I remember when I was younger, we all loved Ryan Jones, and he didn't do anything complicated. Like, it doesn't take a lot for these bottom 6 guys to win the fan base around. Just lay some hits and go to the net and play like you actually want to do it. Like, if you remember last season, like Podkolzin struggled for a long time to score goals, but you knew every single night you were getting a strong effort from Vasily Podkolzin. And now for guys like Frederick Mangiapane, and I know Janmark's back in now, so maybe give him a little bit of time, but they need to get going and they need to get on that side of the puck and win the fan base around. With even just a few scrums in front of the net might help them get going. But especially on the Frederick side of thing, he just seems to have lost his entire game. Like, he had the decent game against St. Louis where he was fairly physical. He looked like he injured Parayko in that game, but he also had 20 family members in the stands. Is that what it's going to take every night to get Trent Frederick going? You have to fly his family around the continent to watch him play to get this guy playing. But I just want to see just play some simple hockey, straight line hockey, dump and chase, just put some guys in the corners and hit them hard. Make it seem like you're going out there to do something, but they just lackluster every single night.
It's almost like the team was waiting for Zach Hyman to have 10 or 11 hits again like he did on Saturday night. It's almost like, oh, well, Zach's back. We can kind of, because he drew guys into the fight on Saturday night. The other guy I thought was going to have a big game was Matt Savoy last night. I thought going back to Buffalo, and, you had all the comparisons about, with Ryan McLeod and you know what, like Noah Ostlund, he was the guy that took over everything last night. Noah Ostlund was taking 5 picks after Savoy in the same draft. And he was the guy that said, this is my night, not Savoy.
Yeah, he's done well recently. It was definitely one of his worst games of the season. But you're right. Like, there should be a bit of a message there for him because they had a few first-round picks. Like, obviously, Benson didn't play. And I think Isaac Rosen, Rosen was his name, right? He was a first-round pick for them. Like, they decided that Savoy wasn't worthy of keeping around, and that should have proven to be a bit of motivation for him. And even someone like Curtis Lazar, I know it's like a lower end scale, but like he played for Buffalo and they allowed him to leave as well. And it's just like, okay, have a bit of pride in your game almost. And I don't want to pile on Savoy because I actually think he's been a really good addition to this team and done well. But yeah, last night you would have liked to have seen a little bit more from him too. But again, like, it was just one of those games where, like, how do you not get up to go and play against a team that's last in the Eastern Conference for everybody? Like, how do you allow 5 goals again?
Like Colton Ellis, it's a hell of a story, though. What did you think of his play? And just the fact that, UPL is their number one, but, Lindy Ruff says, you know what, we're going to go with Ellis. He played well the other night. He's got the hot hand. We're going to roll with him. It's a hell of a story.
Yeah, he played really, really well. And I think some of the saves that he made probably went under the radar of how good a quality they were. And if you're an Oilers fan, like, and you're screaming for a goalie out there, like, it looks like Calvin Pickard, like, who knows how much longer he has left. Like, Buffalo has a lot of goalies, and you would almost want them to put Ellis through waivers, but it feels like he's playing way too good to get to that point. But if he becomes available, and I was Stan Bowman, he'd be someone I'd be looking at just to try and fill a void for them. And I think he's got some decent upside too. I believe he came from St. Louis, and we had a guy in our chat yesterday, which is really random, who was talking about Ellis. He's like, we were so upset when he ended up getting claimed by the Buffalo Sabres, and hopefully he can go back through waivers and they could reclaim him, he was saying. But I just feel like he's probably playing way too good that Buffalo might just have to be forced to carry 3 goalies here for a while. And good for him, like you said.
Yeah. Liam Hurlbin from Oilers Nation, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Liam also does some scouting work with the Penticton V's, and the V's are home to the Edmonton Oil Kings tonight. And boy, the Oil Kings, I'm sure you are well aware, Liam, are on this Western swing in the BC division. And they're almost unbeatable right now. What do you make of this game tonight with the Kings and V's?
Yeah, the Oil Kings are they've got a heck of a roster. I just like to brag that Paul Anderson is one of their better players, and he played for the Sherwood Crusaders last season as well, where I used to work. So that's
Did you
good
scout him?
Yeah, we did scout him. So he's been a great addition for them. I'm glad Paul's doing well. But yeah, for the V's, they've been a really good defensive team recently, but struggling to score goals. So hopefully they can try and bang a few more. They did beat Everett a few weeks ago, and I think it was Everett's first regulation loss of the season.
Regulation, yeah.
Yeah, and they beat them 7-1. So they really did a good job there. If they can turn it up, they're a great team, but just been struggling to score, but also doing well defensively. So it could be a tighter game than the Oil Kings think it could be. But again, like they're the Edmonton Oil Kings. They do a fantastic job of recruiting players there because they play in an NHL arena, but they do a good job. I love their team, but I love the V's more.
Oh, obviously you do, Liam. What's it been like to watch, this team sort of like from the infancy stages to, getting off, as you say, to a decent start in this first year in the Western League?
It's been fun because obviously through the expansion, like you never really know what you're going to get. You probably have to work a little bit harder to get some players out than people would think, but I think the players have done really well, and they're not going with the whole misfits idea that the Vegas Golden Knights had. But I think we've got some players that will probably, like we have Jacob Kwasniewski, who's a 7th-round pick from the Islanders. He's been fantastic. And the players, too, from the BCHL that played for the V's have come over and done a good job. Like Ryden Evers is one of the better centermen in the league for a 20-year-old, I would say. He's just a really strong player. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it to the NHL one day. But I think from the first day of camp, with just being unsure of what the team was going to be and the way it's just kind of gone through, I was like, oh, we actually have like quite a few good players that can compete, and then to see them go out and do it has been great. Hopefully we can keep pushing here and get a playoff spot and get Penticton buzzing for some WHL playoffs.
We started talking about cricket, and Matt and Leduc, Liam, our resident punster, said start talking about the Oilers game, and you hear crickets.
Same difference, I guess, isn't it? It is. I'm trying to put this one game into a vacuum of its own. Okay, I think the previous 3 have been okay and shown positive signs. Hopefully, this was just a blip. I know that's being very optimistic of how poorly they've been. Yeah, but we'll see tomorrow. Washington, obviously a tough game, but they did okay against Carolina and came out with a win. But the 4 regulation wins in this season is probably the most alarming thing.
They were outplayed against Carolina. Carolina was better than the Oilers that night too. So I mean, they're getting wins some nights when they don't deserve them, and they don't deserve a lot of times. Like when they're on the ice, like last night, they were not even close to deserving a win. So, Liam, thanks so much for this. Appreciate it. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Yep. See you guys.
That's Liam Hurlbin from Oilers Nation, also scout with the Penticton V's, and the Edmonton Oil Kings are in Penticton tonight. And that was the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Once again, it's tire changeover time. And I mean, we're going to start getting hit pretty hard, or really good weather this week, but it's coming. It's coming. Check them out at fountaintire.com. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, and the text line is buzzing, as you can imagine. We'll also hear some Oilers post from last night. But Colson spoke, Kulak spoke, and Chris Knobloch had some post-game comments. It's all coming up on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job, from home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs. We're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
For one day only, Friday, November 21st, The Brick is releasing Black Friday deals early. Get a sneak peek at the hottest offers on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Save 65% off sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair, up to 50% off mattresses, and up to $1,000 off when you buy 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, they pay the GST. Check out more one-day-only deals and additional offers in-store. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints, are excited to be back on the ice at the brand new Thompson Family Arena. Be part of the action and enjoy some of the best junior hockey Canada has to offer by experiencing a Saints game for your next outing. Tickets range from $10 to $17 with free parking and some of the best food and drink specials in town. For more information on tickets and how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
Listen up, because we're about to tell you what nobody else will. There's a serious problem in auto service. The price you expect is almost never the price you pay. Big Toy Shop tells it like it is. No BS, no false inflated bill. It's just the auto service you need, done quickly and done well at a price that doesn't make you feel like a chump. Take your ride to Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. Call 780-298-2797.
I hear the train coming.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium this Saturday. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
And welcome back to the big program. 7:42 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick with you on a Tuesday morning. As you can imagine, our text line is smoking hot at 833-401-1440. If you'd like to vent or give us a call, it's the same number. We'll get you on the air. 833-401-1440. Not even sure where to start. Ontario Moms says, I'm not saying that he's ready, nor will it fix this version, but they lack one or two Clattenburg types. You're probably right there, Ontario Moms, on both accounts. He's not ready. Would he fix it? Well, you know that he's going to be playing at 100% on every shift for every second. And that's what's missing. And it's being engaged not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and everything else, smarts-wise, where you can go out and run around and hit guys and be involved and go crashing to the net. But if you're not smart enough to play responsibly, that can come back to hurt you in a big, big way. So you have to have all of that. Ontario says Perry and Evander Kane made them lose their instigation. Well, I mean, Evander never played at all last year in the regular season. Mitch says, you're bang on. Colorado's bottom six destroyed the Oilers too. And that 9-1 loss on a Saturday night. Disgruntled Doug doesn't like the coaching staff. Bad hires. Not holding players accountable. Bouchard Nurse should be in the press box. Well, you're not going to put these guys in the press box like that. Disgruntled Doug, take two. You're not putting Bouchard and Nurse in the press box at the same time. You can, and again, Bouchard was benched on the ice for that 8-minute segment a few games ago. DES, the Oilers seem to cycle the puck above the dots instead of below the dots and keep it down low. It's absolutely killing this team. I agree with you. I mean, again, it's a perimeter team in the offensive zone. How many times do you see a little drop where it's Leon or Connor or Bouchard, and it's around and around we go until someone's getting dizzy? Following the game, 5-1 loss in Buffalo, Chris Knobloch addressed some members of the Oilers media team and had some of these comments.
Coach, games 1-1, and then what did you kind of see happen after that in favor of Buffalo?
I think I thought we got off to a pretty good start. I thought there was good chances and energy. And then after their power play goal, I thought we let up a little bit just with confidence or emotion. We just didn't have the same jump as we had starting the game. And after that, I thought Buffalo played with that emotion, that speed, and were the better team the second half of the game.
You've kind of discussed defensively what you've seen in your own zone. What did you see tonight? And is it a similar pattern that maybe you've witnessed in other defeats?
No, I don't think it's been the same. That was a little bit different tonight. Usually we've been giving up a lot of chances off the rush. Tonight, that wasn't the case. I thought we did a pretty good job on that. Defensive zone, they had us running around, and just whether we're getting beat to the net or maybe even a couple times, certainly on one of the goals I can remember, is just not being aggressive enough, where we're so tight in the middle that just letting them walk around, where we get to be a little more assertive there. Then, that's unfortunately, I'm not seeing a pattern.
Chris, what comes to mind when you hear that your team's record away from home ice is 4-7-2 so far?
We're always disappointed after any loss, and we've always got expectations that we can be better. And we want to work on things like whether it's our breakout, our ozone play. There's a lot of things that we can get better. We can make our team harder to play against. And right now, I don't know. I think we're a lot of things to clean up.
Not the first time we've talked about Jack Roslovic, and probably not the last, but is his sort of ability to continue to play at a certain level and maybe even get better every game impressed you, considering he didn't have a training camp?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to have Jack on the team, and he's been providing a lot, pushing the pace of their game, being able to just carry the puck into the zone. Obviously, the goals, he's had many of those. It's been a nice addition. We'd like to get some more contributions from throughout our lineup, but Jack has been a good player for us, obviously.
He was the best player that he had last night, Jack Roslovic. There weren't a lot of positive notes. And I think it's this way when you're going both ways. And when the Oilers are humming along, I mean, we get way less text because that's how it works. And people aren't as passionate positively. But when things are going really, really bad, the team isn't as bad as it indicates. there are other things that, when you're going good, the team isn't as good at that point as a lot of things are being presented. So when you're going bad, it's never as bad as you think. And when you're going good, it's never as good as you think. But there are still a lot of alarming problems, concerns with this team, at the quarter mark of the season. Jason texts in. Oilers bottom 6 right now is the weakest in the NHL. Go back with Pronger, Pekka, Samsonov, Spacek that left. That's in 06 and 07. The team was convinced it was going to be okay. Fans thought they'd be okay. So he goes on to say, Jason, about Perry, Brown, etc. They're just not a great team. It's where they are. Jordo says, after watching that amazing Jays team where everyone pulled the rope, everyone brought their very best effort, watching this Oilers team is embarrassing. And that's the thing that we've been talking about. You can control certain things, and there's certain things that you can't control. When you make plays, and I brought this up with Evan Bouchard, and everyone was freaking out about Bouchard in the Ranger game, go back a couple of weeks, where he had the long giveaway cross ice on the blue line, resulted in a breakaway that the Rangers scored, and he had another giveaway along the boards. That was resulted in a goal. But then a game or two later, and it was just things where he's at the side of the net and not engaging. Well, the other mistakes, at least he's trying to make a play. When you don't try to make a play and it results in a goal or a scoring chance, that's where the bigger problem lies, does it not? Like, think about again on the fourth goal. It's a face-off in the Oilers' zone to the right of Stu Skinner. And at that point, the game is still very much there for the Oilers to get that 3-2 goal. But you got Noah Ostlund on the boards with the face-off to the right of Stu Skinner. He's lined up with one of your heavier defensemen, if you want to call it. And that's Jake Wallman. And even right off the hop, Wallman's got to have a stick in there on Ostlund. He's got to make it uncomfortable for Ostlund right at the dot. And you're not getting around me. You're not getting through me. Go away. You're 5'10", 5'11". You've seen Wallman's arms in the news conferences. He should be able to put this guy in a little lock and wipe him out. Instead, it's just like ho-hum, bang, as Duke says. You lose a battle down low by the goal line, and then you come around. Those are the plays where if you're not engaging and not being a part of the game and not worrying about your assignment and being out of your loop, out of your thought process, when you're not willing to pay that price and engage and commit, those are the things that drive everyone nuts. Also last night, Vasily Podkolzin spoke, and at least he got into that scrap with Krebs to stick up for Connor McDavid. And that was one of the questions that he was asked following the loss.
Vasily, just maybe take us through the night and what you felt was the difference at the 5-1 loss.
It's hard to say right now, so we better figure it out how to win the games as soon as possible, because we're not happy with what's going on right now. So they did a good job. So they played simple. So they scored their goals. So it's not much to say here.
We've seen your team play very good in stretches, and we've seen your team get away from that in stretches. What do you think is the difference between executing and not right now for your club?
I think just it's about. I think second period was real good, but again we missed unnecessary goals there. So it's tough to say right now. So, but it's just another game. So we got to be ready to play against Washington, and not much to say, but we better to figure it out as soon as possible.
And how about the decision to drop the gloves in the second period? Is that just trying to get your team going a little bit before the third period, Vasily?
Again, not much to say here, but no one can play against our leaders like that. So we'll protect all team will protect them for sure.
That's Vasily Podkolzin last night talking about the scrap that he had with Peyton Krebs. at the tail end of the second period. There was a shot on goal, a late one, and that allowed actually put Coles in to engage Krebs, and the linesman was in there. Finally, the linesman let him go. Finally, let him go, and it was quick and trying to send a message. Blair texts in, "Hey KK, did you see the clip of the Sabres broadcasters mocking Stuart Skinner when the Oilers pulled the goalie at 4-1? I did this morning, and I believe it was Rob Ray's comment. I think it's Rob Ray, but I'd have to double check on that for sure. But hey, let's be honest. The Sabres have no room to throw some shade here. I mean, they have been bad for a long, long time. We had another text with something saying about it was wrong for the Oilers to pull the goalie at 4-1. Why? You're trying to get back in the game. You have an offensive zone faceoff. Leon Draisaitl had a cross-crease feed that he didn't get much on, and Ellis came across and made the save. Of course you're pulling the goalie and trying to get back in the game. What the hell's the difference if it's 4-1 or 5-1? And again, if you go and break down the goals, I mean, what's like the fourth goal? That's on Wallman, and it's a screen with Nurse in front. The tip by Mallenstein was going wide, probably by a foot or two, comes back and redirects 3 feet the other way, bounces off the ice and in. The Byram shot that's a great shot. I'm not sure where people are talking like what Stu Skinner. If that was the reason the Oilers lost, man, you're not looking at the other parts of the game. There were 50 reasons ahead of Skinner that the reason that the Oilers lost, and that's I thought it was a cheap shot. If that was, I'm pretty sure that was Rob Ray, because again, they've had nothing to say when it comes to anything close to playing respectable hockey in Buffalo for 14 years now. Top of the hour. Oh man. We've got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. He'll join us at 8 o'clock. Frank Saravalli will be by at 8:20. So our double barrel hockey insiders at 8 o'clock and 8:20. Paul Sir will join us and talk a little hoops. Hoop City underway now on the weekend with our buddy Paul Sir and Josh Fenwick. I caught the last 25 minutes of the show driving out on Saturday. It was outstanding. Terry Koshin from the Toronto Sun at 10 o'clock along with Connor Halley. Before all of that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io. Learn more about how we can help your business automate processes, streamline operations, save money at Nectar.io. That is Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Edmonton Oilers falling in Buffalo last night. 5-1 the final at the hands of the Sabres. Noah Ostlund scoring twice in a victory. Colton Ellis stopping 32 of 31 for the Sabres. Elsewhere around the NHL, 5 other games. The Hurricanes beat the Bruins 3-1. Panthers put up 8 on the Canucks. They win 8-5. Capitals double the Kings 2-1. Jackets get past the Canadiens 4-3 in a shootout. And the Anaheim Ducks scored with 5 seconds remaining in regulation to send it to overtime, where Olin Zellweger capped it off 3-2 the final from SoCal over the Mammoth. Monday Night Football wrapped up Week 11 in the NFL, and the Dallas Cowboys take care of business 33-16. They win over the Raiders. Big night for Dak Prescott as he throws for 268 yards and 4 touchdowns. In the association, Toronto Raptors win late 110-108 over the Hornets. Brandon Ingram, dominant performance, 27 points in the victory. Elsewhere, Timberwolves win 120-96 over the Mavericks. The OKC Thunder continue to roll 126-109 over the Pelicans. And the Denver Nuggets, despite 36 points, 18 rebounds, 13 assists from Nikola Jokic, they lose to the Bulls 130-127. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free Radio Player app and listen wherever you go.
More fruit?
Check.
Satisfying texture?
Check.
3 amazing new recipes?
Check, check, check.
Let Booster Juice bowl you over with something completely different. 3 new acai bowls, loaded with delicious toppings including bee pollen, cacao nibs, and shredded coconut. Piled high on top of a refreshing blend of authentic acai, straight from Brazil. Spoon?
Check.
Booster Juice, Canada's original juice and acai bowl bar.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
It's week 2 of Canadian Tire's early Black Friday sale. These prices won't go lower this year.
So you're lying on the floor?
Save up to 50% November 13th to 20th. Conditions apply. Details online.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium this Saturday. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8 o'clock in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. We've got the Thursday nighter tomorrow. That'll be Duke's pick as well. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. As you can imagine, our text line is blowing up after the Oilers' Buffalo beatdown last night, 5-1. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. It is on November to remember. You can save thousands of dollars on new and pre-owned inventory. A great selection, but you know what? Even better people, great people, in fact, at NorthgateGM.com. This truck's for you as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
What's happening, Kev? How you doing, buddy?
Having trouble keeping up with the text line this morning, big guy.
I bet you it's increasingly positive and cheery with every text that rolls in.
Oh, it is unbelievable. Yeah. And I mean, their fans are frustrated. I said to those, Spec, when things are as bad as they are, they never are as bad as they are. When they're as good as they are never as good as they are. But right now, the team just it's uninspired. And that's why frustration boils over with fans, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone's willing to give the Oilers a little leeway. We're used to a bad start. They are hanging around the Pacific Division, and there's no great panic in terms of the standings yet. But, we just finished the first quarter of the season. Like, how much leeway are we, do you sit there and go, oh, well, it's the Oilers. They're having another bad start because they play so many playoff games. Like, how long are we doing this for? Are we going to do this all the way to January? Are the Oilers, for the people out there buying tickets, are they getting a laissez-faire ticket price? No, they're not. They're getting charged full dollars to go see a team that's playing half-ass. So yeah, I get it. I watch every game too, and they're boring. The team you're watching is not looking very inspired. There's a whole bunch of passengers every night. Some of the best guys are playing awful. And sure, if you're a fan of this team, it's time now to start to demand more. The start's over, pal. We're into the second quarter of the season, and they still stink.
I said off the top, and this has happened several times this year. And going into last night's game, Spec, and we had Bill Hoppy on from Buffalo News, and he said a lot of injuries, so they've had to bring up some guys, and some other guys are filling in.
Yeah.
But I mean, I knew of Noah Ostlund from the World Juniors. I can be honest with you, I didn't ever hear of Tyson Kozak before, Beck Ballenstein before, Josh Dunn before, Isaac Rosen. I know he's a first-round draft pick, but I had never heard of him really. And Colton Ellis is only in the news because of where he's from in Nova Scotia, Spec. And no one can pronounce the name except for Kenny Reed last night, who's from out there. That's who they lost to last night.
Yeah, they did. Kozak was better than McDavid. And the goalie was good, which is fine. Good for him, Ellis. So yes, I mean, you lose to a beat up Buffalo Sabres team. And it's not only that you lose, like maybe they get all inspired and they get a late goal and beat you 3-2 and you go, damn, we should have won that game. They were the better team by a country mile, and there's just no excuse for that. They were the better team in that game. There's no doubt. They got the lead. They kept the lead. They built the lead. Edmonton scores one goal, so yeah, no, there's very few positives out of there. I mean, you can't even evaluate Skinner's game. I didn't mind the goals that went in, but holy man, how do you like a guy that lets in 4 goals? You can't, but he had no prayer. There's not a goalie on earth that's going to win that game for you. That's just a crutch for the other 19 guys or 18 guys. If you start to say, oh, what about the goaltending? It's got nothing to do with that. So yeah, it's getting, I guess we're watching the same movie every second night. Then they play a game in Carolina and they give you a little hope and then they fall right back into it. Like, when are we getting some traction here?
Well, and Carolina was the better team on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, shot share and all that stuff they were, but you know what? Sometimes you win a game like that. Yes. I didn't mind the Oilers game. I thought they had a lot of elements of a good team against Carolina, but they sure did not last night.
Hey, Spec, you've mentioned many times in the last couple of weeks here on this show, and likely on Gregor's at times as well, about Connor McDavid's getting hits, taking some hits, and he's getting the stick here, and there hasn't been much of a response.
Yep.
We saw a little bit of one last night with Podkolzin, but it's to the point where it's not even close to being enough.
Well, that's just a sign of a team that's not engaged, a team that's not playing together, a team that, I'm not going to say they don't care about each other. I'm sure they do, but you got to look to find it. It's not an overt, they don't come at you like a group at all. One of them goes down or gets hit, their leaders get hit, nothing happens. Podkolzin came in last night, good for him. And he said after the game, he said, you can't treat our leaders like that. And I like that. Good for Podkolzin. But yeah, there's too many passengers, man. In that area and every other area, there's just too many passengers, too many guys who are playing below the level they're supposed to play at. They're not standing out in any way. Darnell Nurse is game's getting worse, not better. Frederick's a ghost and has been all year. These are two guys who are supposed to be leaders. Like, I know Frederick's new around here, but he's an 8-year contract guy. He's a veteran. He's supposed to help get you out of this thing, not keep you in it. Jan Mark plays, I don't know, he's come back from injury, but he's getting nothing done. There's just a bunch of passengers. Kulak's having a lousy year. Keep going. Wallman's all over the place, pinching like a madman, right? Bouchard's game's getting better. I'll say that. Bouchard's kind of evening out a little bit.
Bouchard and Ekholm were, they were okay last night.
Yeah. Sure. So, but I mean, they go up, 2 other guys go down. Then Bouchard and Ekholm go down, and 2 other guys take a half step up. Like, we're not getting anywhere here. It's just they're treading water. And yeah, I'm sick of talking about it. You're sick of hearing about it out there. We're all sick of watching it. Let's go. It's supposed to be a good team. Start playing like one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like again, it's a step forward and then like 2 steps back, and we've seen the movie for the first quarter of the season here. So, hey, you know what? We get a lot of texts about Paul Coffey, and I think I asked you this last week too. Like, have you heard anything? Is there anything possible that he would ever come back on the bench?
You know what? I think it's a complicated situation. I guess I'd say this to you. I don't have a ton of insider information.
Yeah.
But Paul Coffey's out there. He's employed by the team. And if he was wanted behind the bench or part of practice or down in Baco or whatever, either A, he'd go do it, or B, he'd say, I don't want to do it. I'm not working for the team anymore. And he's still working for the team. So I can only deduce that the guys who are coaching aren't that enamored with having Paul Coffey behind their bench. That's all I got.
So if he, like, let's just say, and use a hypothetical here, which sucks, Spec, but I mean, if say somehow he returns, is that like undermining the head coach? Because obviously the head coach didn't want him here.
Well, if the head coach doesn't want him and he ends up behind the bench, then there's going to be some drama there for sure. I'm not sure, knowing Paul Coffey, I don't think he needs the drama.
No.
I don't think that's a situation he's that interested in being part of. I would say to you that if Paul Coffey shows up again around this team, it'll be after a long conversation with Chris Knobloch and both guys accept this is what's best. I don't see Paul Coffey standing behind a bench where he's not wanted. I do not see that. That's not the Paul Coffey we know.
I did the one-on-one with him on the bench after practice about 3 weeks after he was hired, Spec, 2 years ago. He told me straight up, he said, this is a one-off for me for this year, and that is it. We ran that clip on this show.
Yep.
And then, you get so close and things, you get so close to winning, and then he comes back. But have you ever heard Paul Coffey say that I did not want to come back for year 3?
No, I have not heard that.
Yeah.
No, I've not heard that. It's very quiet. It's a bit of a mystery. That's for sure. It's a bit of a mystery then. And that's because no one probably really wants to tell you what the answer is. As a reporter, if it was an easy solution, we'd know about it. If we don't know the answer to it, it's because probably people don't want us to know the answer. And that means guys like me and you should be digging on it, frankly, and figuring out what's going on. But, a lot of the things that Paul Coffey does, like I know he was very good with a lot of these defensemen. I'm not sure if he leans more on the gamesmanship side, on the mental side, on the, if you have a bad shift, I'm putting you right back out there side. I don't know if he's a systems guy or not. Frankly, their system doesn't look very good to me. There's lots of guys standing around in front of their net uncovered. And the other thing that Paul Coffey, like the things that we're complaining about with the Oilers, Paul Coffey would be complaining about too. Not standing up for guys, not going to war together. That's Paul Coffey's an old school hockey player who would bring that element into the coach's room and say, what the hell's going on here? Right. He would go to he would say to Darnell Nurse, you're big, you're tough, you're strong. Show us that once in a while. Stand up for somebody out there. We don't have much of what you bring, so start bringing it. That's the kind of thing Paul Coffey would do. The fact that they're missing all that tells me they're probably missing Paul Coffey.
But doesn't that message come from Mark Stewart right now? Like he's got to be saying the same things.
Are you seeing any change?
None. Zero.
I'm not here to blame an assistant coach for what's going on here. I'm not a believer in that. But there's never been a great call for physical play from this coaching staff, Kevin. You know that.
Forever.
Like again, under Knobloch, physical play it's way down the list. They don't care that much about it.
Yeah. But it's it's commitment. It's the will. It's about paying the price and, the urgency and awareness, all these other words we've been using and talking about and saying for weeks and even at times, years prior, because that's been like the status quo when the team is in funks like this. But there's just too many funks like this.
Well, it's been the same funk all year, as far as I can see. Like until you get out of this thing for a stretch of 5 or 6 games, you're still in it. and they certainly they haven't strung together. I'm not sure they've strung together 3 games they're happy with it in the first 21, let alone 5 or 6. So, when does it stop becoming a funk, and when does it start becoming who you are, Kev?
Well, I mean, we've talked about team identity for weeks here, and sometimes you see it. And I honestly, and I said this earlier, and it's almost like everyone went and, oh, look, Zach Hyman's back. He had 11 hits in Carolina. We won. And now Zach's going to carry us. We can just watch him do this. All these other guys in the bottom 6 have just been pathetic.
Yep. The bottom 6 isn't doing what a bottom 6 is supposed to do. I like their makeup more. But then again, look at last night. Like, who was the bottom? The 4th line was filled between Janmark and Lazar, and none of them played 10 minutes, I don't think. Like, the
coach
coach is going.
Anything, no, Spec. They didn't do anything to deserve any more time. And the other problem is then once the team went down 3-1, the coach put Draisaitl and Leon together when really the only guy that's been going is Roslovic.
Yeah, he put those guys together in like the first period. That's another one. The Knobloch has fallen into the Draisaitl McDavid spin cycle. Every
second spec, but
what's that?
I thought it was a second when Leon went with McDavid and Zach Hyman.
I'm not sure. I thought I saw them together earlier. Maybe it was after a PK, but either way, it was early in a game that I just, it's like, and that's just another part of this first 21 games. It's been every second night, or either they start the game together or they play together half the night. And how's it going for you?
Yeah.
That's a short-term fix. Like, to my eye, we all know this, I've said it a million times, they're a better team when they start the game on separate lines. And you put them together to try to win the odd game, but then they come back apart. It's a short-term fix. And those two guys have been playing together, so much of the time in the first 21 games. It doesn't help the rest of the team get going. In fact, it hurts them. Every time there's a deficit, it's just, let's go hard on our top 2 horses, and everyone else sits around. Like, I'd like to see a problem get solved by someone else on this team once in a while.
Well, again, Roslovic has been their most consistent guy up front here. And the change the lines around in the second period there, and you got Roslovic playing with Savoy and Podkolzin, and he's trying to drag those guys in.
Yep.
And as I said, I thought Savoy was going to have a big game yesterday, and he didn't. I thought going back to
Buffalo, hey, he's a young player.
Yeah, hey, the guy that was drafted 5 picks after him, Spec, stole the show.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, like, if you're standing around waiting for a rookie who's hasn't played 40 games yet to make the difference between winning and losing.
I just said going back to Buffalo, I said I thought that he would have a big game, Matt Savoy, and he never did. And the guy that was selected 5 picks after him in the same draft stole the show with 2 goals.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. Listen, I'm getting grief online from these guys who think that I made a comment a couple of days ago that probably playing Savoy with, the rest of the season, someone said this is going to be the greatest line ever, Savoy, Hyman, and McDavid. And my comment was, it's probably not the right place to put a young guy like that next to a center who's expected to score 120 points. That's a ton of pressure, and it's not a great development plan. And he had one good game, and everyone says, aha, Spec's an idiot. Well, you know what? I'll tell you I'm wrong. If I'm wrong on that, I'll come on the show and I'll tell you, but I won't tell you that till January. One good week doesn't answer the bell here, folks. So I hope Savoy's awesome. Sure. I hope he stays in the first line. I hope I'm wrong as wrong could be. But there you go. There's a young guy who walked on the big stage yesterday and was average like everybody else. So
yeah, like the rest.
I'm not blaming Savoy on this thing, but holy cow, the veterans need to get this thing going. The guys who've been around need to play, and the Savoys need somebody to follow around here. And right now they got not enough.
Thanks, Beck. Good stuff. We'll yak at you tomorrow.
Have a good day, Kev.
Yeah, you too, buddy. That's On the Mark, brought to you by, fueled by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. When we come back, Frank Saravalli from Frankly Speaking in Victory Plus TV on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep!
What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
You know your neighbor, right? The one who watches your house when you're away, who keeps their yard looking nice, who says hello every day. That's us. GS Construction. Now, we probably don't live right beside you, but we do live in your community. And when it comes to water and wastewater infrastructure, moving along smoothly, we're the ones doing that work. GS Construction has been doing it since 1974, over 50 years. So you could say we are your neighbors who wear hard hats and work boots. To find out what your neighbors do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
From the first face-off to the final whistle, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk with live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows. We bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7 only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready? I'm not just here to make a thermo a couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take one.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you treat me like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building. We're elevating. We're moving up. New space, new contracts.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
Program 822 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you, along with Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select, and all you got to do is get that QR code going. It's very simple. Check the how to play videos on the site. It's at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsible as we await the arrival of one Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV, and there is a lot to talk about this morning. Just noticing as well that Toronto Maple Leafs general manager Brad Treliving is addressing the media, and Treliving says, right now, we're not where we want to be or where we envision to be. The responsibility lies with myself. So that is an ongoing news conference right now in Toronto. Time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the plumber to call, and getting snakes deep and giving 110% day in and day out for all your plumbing needs. Go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. Good morning, Frank.
How you doing, Kevin?
Well, we're a little busy on the text line, as you can imagine, today, Frank, after a team loses 5-1 in Buffalo. 5-1 in Buffalo. I don't know if you want to start there. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that game last night, but, I mean, they're just playing so uninspired right now, this team. And not a lot of good things said about this team in our city, Frank.
No, and I understand that, and it's pathetic and it's unacceptable because, you know, you look at last week and, you know, you put a couple wins on the board in games that you probably shouldn't have. And then there's this big sort of collective exhale when Zach Hyman returns, because this is your guy with the cape on, the knight in shining armor that's going to change the direction of your season. And what he provides, the guy that drags you into the fight with 11 hits, that's exactly what they needed. But to then turn around and think, oh, we're the Oilers, we should be trouncing the team that's in 16th place in the East. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't. And you mentioned uninspired. I think that's a perfect way to explain it, or a perfect word to put to it. I don't know if they think that they're just so much better than everyone else that they can walk all over everyone. Doesn't make any sense to me, because the way this team looks, the bottom half of their forward production, which is zero or negligible, plus the way that they defend, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you summed her up, Frank, in what we did for the first hour and 20 minutes of the show. So we're going to bust away to the rest of the NHL. I sort of wanted to focus on maybe some key guys out with the American Olympic team moving forward. Let's start with Charlie McAvoy in Boston. Is he going to have surgery here, Frank, after taking the puck to the face?
That part is still unclear. I can tell you that I talked to some Montreal Canadiens players over the weekend, and they were concerned for, you mean, you saw Cole Caulfield and how he had to turn away and not even look. He was standing right next to McAvoy. He was in significant distress leaving the ice. And in fact, it had gotten them a little worked up because he was so panicked. One player had told me that it was, quote, raining teeth out of his mouth. And just, it's incredible, because if you actually go back and look at the sequence again, he's actually really lucky, because the puck appeared to hit his collarbone, his shoulder pad, before actually hitting him in the mouth. It was not a direct hit.
Yeah, I would have taken a little heat off it. So obviously, you know, you're looking at dental surgery and things like that. You hate to even say if he's going to be out any determined amount of time, but Jack Hughes is looking at 8 weeks, and you talk about freak accidents, man. That's another blow for what could possibly be moving forward here for this American Olympic team.
Well, it seems like both of those guys, at least for right now, are not going to have their Olympics impacted. I mean, even with the dental surgery for McAvoy, you're talking 80 some days of time before puck drop in Milan. And he was one of the first 6 selected to the U.S. Olympic team, in part because of the sacrifice that he made for his country at the Four Nations face-off last year, and that crazy infection. When it comes to Jack Hughes, it's a gut punch in so many ways. This is a guy who has really struggled with availability and reliability, missed 20 games each of the last 2 seasons, and now to have an injury that's non-hockey related and something apparently as fluke as that to occur at a restaurant called Chicago Cut, no less. It's a tough one. And he was also off to such a good start that, look, this takes the wind out of the sails of not just Hughes, but also the Devils, who, moving their lineup pieces around, become a really thin team production-wise in the bottom 6. And they're going to have a lot of work to do.
And even guys like, Jacob Slavin in Carolina, he's been on IR. So, I mean, there's been a few guys, and everyone knows about the Kachucks. Is there any concern with this U.S. team right now, or just more, as you said, there's lots of time here?
Yeah, well, they're crossing their fingers that everything's going to come together. The problem is you can't continue to withstand these, right? If these start to pile up in December, it's going to really become problematic. But the Kachucks, Brady got clearance yesterday to ramp up his activity. He's probably 2 weeks away. Matthew will begin skating probably by the time the calendar turns to December. Jacob Slavin, they're taking their time with him because they know that there's a real chance of re-aggravating his injury, and they want to make sure he gets past it so that they don't have any hiccups for both the Canes and Team USA. So, yeah, it is definitely a concern, and they are most definitely way more banged up than Team Canada right now.
Frank Saravalli with us from Victory Plus TV. What about Drew Doughty? First, did you have him on, or do you have him on your Olympic team for Canada? And how serious is this? He was in a walking boot leaving Ottawa the other night.
I did not. I don't have him on my roster. I love Drew Doughty. I mean, how much he wants to be part of the Olympics is really impressive in its own right. I just think his play, his production, I think there's other more well-rounded options, even though he has a ton of experience to bring to the table. He's certainly going to be in that final group of players that are considered. And the walking boot, obviously a concern, but my understanding is time frame did not impact the Olympics, at least right now.
Yeah, around the league right now, the 2 best teams going are probably Colorado and Dallas, 1 and 2. What do you make of the Avs start with just 1 loss in regulation, Frank?
To me, they're head and shoulders above anyone, including the Dallas Stars, who, as you mentioned, have been really hot. The Avs have just put themselves in a separate category. They play so incredibly fast. And I'm not rubbing salt in the wound after the 9-1 loss. It's just that they have proven to be head and shoulders above everyone else. And they've gotten great goaltending, even from, unsuspecting heroes. Scott Wedgwood has been really good. I still think, as good as Colorado has been, and the secret that they've unlocked with their line combinations and their forward group, there's still a couple questions for me for the long haul when it comes to the playoffs with the bottom half of their defense core, that I wonder if we'll see it rear its head at some point. But they've created such a cushion for themselves. I mean, they're going to be able to just cruise. It becomes a game of math at some point. They're in a really great spot.
On that bottom 6, what room do they have? What options would they have to make an ad here, up to the trade deadline, Frank?
Look, they're certainly cap strapped. I think if anything, they're probably not taking on someone that has term. They're probably looking at moving futures for a rental. And in an ideal situation, what they could find would be a number 4 defenseman, a second pair guy that could take some heat off of Josh Manson, who has played fine. But I think when push comes to shove, he's a guy that has shown some wear on the tires for me. And they had searched for so long last year, finding so many different possibilities for that third pair defenseman. Brent Burns has been good. But that's where I'd be looking.
So if you say Colorado is a perfect 10 right now, if you're ranking teams, and do you have Dallas at number 2, and how far back are they? Are they at a 7 or an 8 compared to the 10?
Yeah, pretty considerably back. I'd say an 8 is probably fair, 7.8 or something like that, if we're going on the pizza scale. Look, Dallas has come a long way. Probably not a surprising slow start, given the coaching change and how different of a voice Glenn Gulletson is from Pete DeBoer. And you can't argue with the success that Pete DeBoer had, but he grinds and wears on you. He's got an edge to him. He's sarcastic. And Glenn Gulletson is not any of those things. And so I think the players have really appreciated that. They've gotten some monster performances from their offense. Their power play has been lethal. Like, they're getting the McDavid Draisaitl treatment. They're out there for a minute 30. They've been that good at varying points. That first unit has been clicking at like 39%. It's been really good. And so to have that in your arsenal, that's certainly a feather in your cap. And the big thing, and related to that power play, what a huge step forward Miro Heiskanen has taken offensively. Like, at a point per game guy, he should be in the conversation for the Norris Trophy this season. It's going to be interesting to watch Thomas Harley and this injury. He's week to week, probably looking at 3 to 4 weeks. We were just talking about Olympics and Team Canada. Look, I think he's probably going to be fine on that time frame, obviously, but his play has not been up to that level. And he's also trying to manage a brand new contract, $85 million. Sometimes that mental hurdle is a bit difficult when you sign that in the middle of the season, trying to live up to it and play up to it. But at least he's working at it, unlike Darnell Nurse.
Yeah, well, Matt Duchene now on injured reserve. You mentioned Harley. He's out a couple weeks. Ben's on IR. Labushkin's
Ben's getting close.
Yeah.
Ben is, he's probably sometime in the next 10 days.
Okay, perfect. Hey, Frank.
But Matt Duchene is certainly a concern. It sounds like some sort of significant concussion that's keeping him out.
I know you always got one or two in the chamber that I miss, and you might want to bring up anything top of mind that you want to close things out with here.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the Montreal Canadiens. Look, with the injuries that they've had, Alex Newhook, Caden Gooley, now add in Kirby Dach, it's been ugly. They started to play poorly before all those injuries piled up. I know that they're interested in doing something. They'd be willing to make a trade if it was something that they'd consider irrespective of the injuries. Kent Hughes was making calls over the weekend to understand the market. And obviously the Toronto Maple Leafs, Brad Treliving, their general manager, giving his quarter season address today, right out of the chute, saying that their lack of success falls on him. So I think it's a lot deeper than that, but the Leafs are certainly also in that category to try and turn this around. 15th place in the East.
Yeah, again, we discussed it. The Leafs and the Oilers are basically in the same boat right now. One last thing. Well, they are, as far as
not for me. In the standings, they are. I think the Leafs are a significantly better constructed team that's played poorly. I don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs are even a good team. I think they're a below average team.
Did you see Jacob Dobish last night in Columbus?
I did.
When the cannon went off?
Yep. And by the way, some of those shootout moves last night were ridiculous on both sides.
Yeah. Wow. Talented guys. Frank, good stuff. Appreciate it. Get ready for Victory Plus TV in about, an hour and a half here.
Yep. Sounds good. And talk to you on Thursday, Kevin.
All right. Thanks, Frank. That's Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV with Kate Pedersen. And that's our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the number one overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's mrrooter.ca. Well, let's regroup here after Speck and Frank. We'll get to some of your texts. Again, they have been humming in. Duke, have you had a chance to check things out at all?
I've perused. I've surveyed the text line, and it is largely a lot of the same, with some different tidbits and sticking points for different listeners, different texters in. Some don't like you, Kevin, because of the stance you're taking on the team at this stage. And I'm sorry that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, from Naz.
Oh, I'll have to read this one. I haven't had a chance.
Oh,
to
it's
read it yet.
extensive. It's quite extensive. But yeah, otherwise there's some that continue to stick
I'm
on
a
the
coward.
Yes, some listeners continue to stick on the goaltending. Others are focusing on the bottom six. Some on best players.
I'm a coward for going after the bottom six. Matt Savoy, Mark Stewart. Who's next? The Oilers equipment manager? So, I mean, the bottom six has how many goals this month?
Like 0.
None. All right, Naz. Give me a call, Naz. Call us. We'll talk about it. 833-401-1440. Call anytime, and we can discuss me being a coward on the air. It's a Kevin Karius show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells.
Tired of the same old holiday tunes? Spice things up with the sound of a Wilhauk beef jerky bag being torn open. It's the carol that everyone wants to hear, promising a chorus of tender, perfectly spiced beef jerky. This holiday season, make sure you're Wilhauking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Aloha, Edmonton. It's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Winter snow and ice are nothing to fear when the Lawnmower Hospital's in your corner. Keep pathways clear of snow with the Echo PB770T backpack blower. Or go even bigger with the huge PB9010T. Right now, buy select commercial walk-behind BCS sweepers and get the Echo PB9010T for free. The Lawnmower Hospital has pet-safe, plant-safe ice melt, too. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. That song's for Naz, and it's also Naz. I think has two names, Naz and also Nick and the Mac. I'm not sure, but it was I think last week our buddy Tricky Dicky Richard wanted to check in and chime in, and he wanted that song "Coward of the County" on. Naz, yeah, hard to respect you, Kevin. This is Nick and the Mac or Naz, not sure. You are a coward for going after the bottom six. Okay, now the bottom six, again, has 0 goals in the month of November, is minus, a combined minus what, 30-some? Something like that. Going after Matt Savoy, Mark Stewart. Who's next? The Oilers equipment manager. I went after Matt Savoy today because I said I thought he would have a good game yesterday. And if that's going after Matt Savoy, then as man, oh man. Pretty disappointing that you would say that, but I'll take it. I'm fine with that. I'm a big boy, can handle it. I just wanted Matt Savoy to have a really good game going back to where he was going, where he was traded from. They kept a guy in Noah Ostlund that was selected 5 picks later. They felt that, he was expendable. And then there were the comparisons about contract, money, this and that. What's going on this year with McLeod and the comparisons between McLeod and Savoy? Well, Ryan McLeod scored 20 goals last year, had a phenomenal season. I thought Matt Savoy would have a big game going back into Buffalo and say, stick this up yours right now because I am going to come out flying, and it never happened. Noah Ostlund outplayed him last night, had 2 goals. The Naz goes on. The coach couldn't motivate a kid to eat cake. Terrible coaching. Stu Skinner's not a starter. I cannot respect you until you acknowledge that. Okay, let's go through all the numbers again here. Naz or whatever you are in the Mac. Skinner's numbers aren't where they should be. He would like better numbers. But the team that's playing in front of him is playing so horrific. What do you want? The save percentage is below 900 across the league. There are 6, 7, 8 goaltenders right now that are making 3 times, 4 times the money that Skinner is, double the money that Skinner is, and then some, that are in the same position, the same boat. Naz goes on. I've never seen a media group more pathetic. You clowns make every excuse for Skinner Pickard, so obviously he is on the goaltending here. Naz, have you watched how the Oilers are playing in front of their goaltenders? Have you watched how they play defensively? Do you watch how they play around the perimeter in the opposition zone? Do you watch how they commit to checking? Do you watch how much that they give the other team scoring chances in front of their own net where it's a free pass? We talked about the first goal, and Duke brought it up off the hop. On the power play, yes, it's on the power play. But no Ostlund. Quick mitts, man. It's quick mitts. Backhand, forehand, off the post and in, but it's a free pass to the net. How many times have you seen the Oilers try that exact same play? And at the very worst, the guy takes a cross check to the mitts, to the hands, a shot to the shoulders, anything. It doesn't happen because the Oilers are easy to go to the net. 8:47. Anyone, Turkey Dicky comes in. Hey, I was told there was no Kenny Rogers on 1440 when I requested the very song. Well, I brought you up, Tricky Dicky. I didn't forget about you, big guy. Didn't forget about you. Mr. Lister says, yeah, coward of the county. Nice call. Old guy from the Kootenays. Good morning, KK. We got your back. You're not a coward. I want to know how many days till spring training. How many is it? 65? 70? Pitchers and catchers report? Some other comments too about, like Marty saying, I've missed more games this season than I have all of the last 5 seasons combined. Can't handle the effort. Just frankly, the games are boring. Well, that's something we've talked about for sure. Northside Adam. Hey, what the heck did I just miss while I was getting out of my car? Coming back. Kevin telling this guy to call in. We'll talk about being a coward. Oh, man, that sounds like a bike racks meeting. I'm surprised. Oh, here comes Nails. Nails. There's really nothing on the radio called a knob that you can turn. Man, oh, man. And the bike rack. Let's move it to the bike rack. Anything I missed? And now they're just coming in fast and furious. I guess everyone's a little riled up. Hey, Duke?
Well, it kind of immediately triggers everyone else, the other listeners and stuff, in a little bit more of a tempered manner to voice their own displeasure about what it is about the team specifically that most irks them, right? And for some people, it is still the goaltending, and there are warrants to that. For some, it is the defense. For some, it is the bottom six. For some, it's the top players. And so, like, when a text like that comes in, just saying so matter-of-factly how it's this, that, and the other, you know, everyone wants to get their opinions in, and I think we maybe will dive into that a little bit during In or Out as well, about what exactly is the primary issue with this team here, as we have crossed the quarter mark of the regular season now with 21 games in the books.
Yeah, and by the end of this trip, they'll have played the most games, correct?
I believe that's correct,
So
yeah.
3 more to go. I'd be shocked if they didn't come out with an exceptional effort of a way higher level tomorrow in Washington, and then move on to Tampa Bay. And, you know, we've seen how the Lightning are struggling. And then, you know, Florida's not in the same boat. They blew away Vancouver, 8 goals on the board last night for Florida beating the Vancouver Canucks.
And that's in a game which Sergei Bobrovsky had a save percentage of like .666.
So
I think he stopped 10 of 15 in the game.
is that it?
Yeah.
So, you know, could you imagine if we were talking about that here? And then right now, I mean, Florida's outside the cut line. They're, you know, they're not a whole hell of a lot better than where the Oilers are. They're 10-8-1. So, but they're just a win back of a wild card spot, just like the Oilers are, you know, a win back of a wild card spot, or even to move higher into where the Pacific top 3 are. Anaheim, hey, Duke, your Ducks, you got to be happy with that.
Thriller last night.
That was a loss, 2 points, right?
Really entertaining game. I did stay up for its entirety. The late start, like I said, end of Monday Night Football didn't keep me super engaged, so I had the big screen on that game. And yeah, entertaining. Those are 2 fun teams to watch in Utah and Anaheim. Yeah. Lots of pace. And yeah, the Ducks kind of just keep seeming to find a way. They just lost 3 in a row, and it was looking down the barrel of a 4th. But yeah, 5 seconds left. Troy Terry ties it. And then a nice little overtime execution. Olin Zellweger, I know a guy that a lot of people around here have fond feelings about. Western League kid. He got the OT winner. He's playing really well for the Ducks on that back end. Good blend of youthfulness and some veteran players that Anaheim's deploying. It's having success.
Well, they had that snapped a 3-game skid, right? Yeah,
that's right.
3-game losing streak. So, I mean, that's the quickest thing is you got to get that. You know, stop digging the hole.
That's right.
That's where they're at.
Get things back on track. You know? And it kind of, it's funny because it was like 1-1, a 1-goal game or tie game a vast majority of the contest. They went down early in the third, 2-1. And like I said, 5 seconds away from a 4 straight loss. That can be pretty heartbreaking, but instead you feel this new rejuvenation with a last second tie and then win.
Yeah. Text line, as you can imagine, exploding. Sunny from Calgary. I think Calgary, maybe Red Deer. Happy Tuesday, KK. Frustrating watching the Oilers play bottom feeder teams. Maybe bring a trade to shake things up. The team misses Kane Perry. Thanks. Nas is captain of the club. Clueless. Sounds like he doesn't know anything about hockey. Well, he's just passionate too, Sonny. I think a lot of people are, you know, they want their opinions heard, met, and that's what this show is sort of for. I mean, we try to get as many opinions as we can. Some are out there, some are bang on, some are to be debated. And that's kind of how things go. 833-401-1440. A lot of, you know, it's the same thing, the same text. It's the same gist of what we've been talking about with, you know, Northside Lou says the bottom 6 couldn't score in a mining town brothel with a pocket full of gold coins. And it is like, I mean, I think Gregor had that post last night. And he talked about everyone on the bottom 6, and it's 0-0-0 across the board. It is everyone's minus something. I mean, they're just not contributing, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, the numbers are
What is it?
complete zeros. The only exception is Andrew Mangiapane has a goal and an assist, but the goal came when he was playing on the second line. So it's even a little bit of an asterisk on that. But otherwise, yeah, Tomaszek, Janmark, Howard, Lazar, Philp, Frederick, and Henrique, all zeros, and all of them pretty far into the minus column. The fewest minus, the highest, or I guess the closest to even minus totals are the guys that have only played 5 and 6 games in Howard and Janmark.
Yeah.
So take that for what it's worth.
Darcy texting, good morning again. Kevin, you and Gregor need to stop with the goaltender numbers that are down around the league. It's a weak defense. The difference is these top goaltenders are proven number ones. Their numbers would, I suspect, go up. Skinners are what they are. They're not moving. Yada, yada. The numbers are what they are, not Darcy. I mean, that's what they are. Everyone across, I mean, Gregor talks about it with Woodley every Monday. And Woodley, I mean, can anyone explain it any better about what's going on and how what save percentage is and how it's tabulated, calculated? We've been through this 1,000 times. That's the numbers are what they are. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to talk a little, you know what, this is going to be great to talk a little basketball. And you know, the other thing too, I think today, would you say out of all the days where if you want to say, call it rip the Oilers or, you know, blast them. I mean, for an hour and a half, I don't think I've done it more than this morning than for the last 2 years, even when Woody got fired. I mean, I don't know, but I like the Coward of the County song, though. I'll take that. If that's what you need to hear, the Coward of the County, we'll take it. Paul Sir is going to check in at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk some basketball. I want to start things off with something. I hope Paul's okay to talk about it, and I think he will be, because it was really emotional, heartwarming. And it's not that he's not talked about it before, but he addressed, his son passing a couple of years ago, along with another a family friend as well. And I wanted to just say how impressed I was with how he handled that at the end of the show on Saturday. Terry Koshin will be by at 10 o'clock, covers the Toronto Maple Leafs for the Sun. I would imagine he's got a lot to say about what Brad Treliving just talked about in his media availability. Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy to follow at 10:20. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca Quality Market. It's not your average grocery store. Loca is a butcher, baker, cafe, deli, rotisserie, pizzeria, all under one roof. Shop local at loca.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Edmonton Oilers losing last night in Buffalo, 5-1 at the hands of the Sabres. Noah Ostlund scoring twice for Buffalo. Colton Ellis making 32 stops of 33 shots on net in the victory. 5 other games around the NHL. Hurricanes beat the Bruins 3-1. Canucks fall into the Panthers 8-5. Capitals, Alex Ovechkin with a goal. They beat the Kings 2-1. Canadians losing to the Blue Jackets 4-3 in a shootout. And the nightcap, Anaheim scored with 5 seconds remaining, forcing overtime, where they win 3-2 over the Mammoth. Monday Night Football wrapping up Week 11 in the NFL. The Cowboys beat the Raiders 33-16. Dak Prescott, strong night, 268 through the air and 4 touchdown passes. In the association, full slate of games, including the Raptors, getting a win over the Hornets 110-108. Brandon Ingram, dominant 27-point performance in the victory. Elsewhere, Timberwolves over the Mavericks 120-96. The Bucks lose in Cleveland 118-106. Giannis Antetokounmpo leaving the game with an injury, did not return. Thunder moved to 14-1 with a 126-109 win over the Pelicans. And Nikola Jokic, 36 points, 18 rebounds, 13 assists. Not enough as the Nuggets lose 130-127 at the hands of the Bulls. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Paul Sir from Hoop City, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas, Sector Sports 1440 Update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to
2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
Looking for the perfect used ride? Now's the time. Drive away for as little as $25 bi-weekly. Go Auto has over 7,500 used vehicles in stock with something for everyone. From budget-friendly cars and road trip-ready SUVs to powerful work-ready trucks. With around 70 locations across Canada, your next vehicle is closer than you think. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying for the first time, we've got the right ride at the right price. But don't wait. These deals won't stick around forever. Start shopping today at goauto.ca.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Karius and Jason Greger, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
To Sports 1440.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
It's the Nissan Black Friday event, a full month of excitement packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive offers. Right now, finance the Nissan Kicks for 0% for 24 months. Plus, get $1,000 Nissan bonus and enjoy an epic ride wherever you go. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:01 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you on Sports 1440. After 2 solid hours of Oilers coverage, after the Buffalo beatdown last night, excited to talk a little basketball with Paul Sir. You hear him every Saturday morning from 10 till 12 here on Sports 1440 with Josh Fenwick and Hoop City. Morning, Paul. Thanks for coming on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Always excited to talk hoops with you, Kevin. Thank you for having me on.
You know, so I got to tell you this first, Paul. So Saturday morning, I'm heading out at 11:30-ish or so, and I'm heading down to the Windermere for John Sexsmith's memorial celebration of life. And it was a wonderful ceremony, and a dear friend of mine for 25 years and, you know, big-time guy in the Edmonton media and philanthropy and volunteering and everything. So I really got to listen to you at the end, then talking about, you know, your son, Ben, and the tribute that you always do to him. And then with the friend David and everything. I just wanted to say, Paul, I thought that it was just so well. And it just really got my heart going. And I just wanted to say, excellent, you know, how you relate that all the time and translate your thoughts on that. So I just wanted to make that known.
Kevin, I can't tell you how much that means for you to say that. Before I speak just briefly about Ben and David, John to me was a shining star in life. He's one of those people you meet rarely that when you encounter him, you know you're talking to somebody that has a special spirit, a special way about him that comes from a place deep within him that transcends what he's trying to do. And I'm referring specifically to report on sports. That was always secondary when I talked with John. It was that there was a soulfulness in every conversation with John, and that happened before his diagnosis, and certainly was part of who he was after his diagnosis. But the class, the dignity, the courage, the caring for those that he loved in his life. What a great man. What a loss to his family, friends, and community. But I feel honored to have known John as I did, and so yeah. I just wanted to say that, and thank you for. I do that every week. Losing a child is the worst imaginable thing that certainly I think people can experience, and losing Ben was all of that. But then at some point, we've had to come to terms with, okay, what do we do moving forward? And certainly keeping his memory alive, that's important, but also acknowledging what was important to Ben. And Ben, as I indicate, did very special things for people who were at their most difficult times in life. And I am compelled and will always want people to, I think, consider what's most important in your life and who's most important in your life, and remember that always.
It's so well said, Paul. And I mean, I always think I had a buddy pass away it's 15 years now, but we were talking about, another friend that had passed, and he said, you never get over it. You get used to it. You never get over it. And I always remember that words from him. And I'm sure that's kind of how you feel with Ben, and that's how I'll always feel with Johnny, kind of thing. So,
well, and I think the best, if I may share this, because I think this has been grief changing for me, not eliminating, but to the point you just made. There was a graphic that I saw. It was six rectangles, and the first rectangle depicted grief as a dark cloud that filled up the entire rectangle. And then it progresses where the grief stays the same size, but the rectangle gets bigger around it. And to your point, you never get over it. You never get past it. You live with it. But it's how big you build your life around the grief and moving forward, because it does change you. So it can crush you. It can ruin you, or it can fuel you to honor their memory by how you live their life and how you share their experiences and their meaning.
Weeksy texts in, absolutely agree with you there, KK. I love Paul's tribute to his son every Saturday when I'm listening. So excellent stuff, Paul.
Thank you.
Hey, the Raptors. I mean, what's gotten into this team right now? They're on a bit of a heater with 4 wins in a row. What did you make of last night's victory, where there was a lot of drama at the end to beat the Hornets 110-108?
It was a fun game. You don't expect the Hornets to come into Toronto and be that competitive, but the Hornets have some good players, and the Raptors are, we're tired. You could see that, but this team, I think, when this team was assembled, it happened over a period of years with injuries being factored into the rebuild. And what we finally have had the opportunity to do as fans of the Raptors is see what this vision was all about, and what the talents that they assembled are what they look like playing together. And they're still early on in developing their chemistry, Kevin. But there are many encouraging things about this group of players and the way that they're feeding on each other. And of course, we both know, and everybody who knows sports, the sun always shines brighter you're always at your best when you're winning. You know, you're always gracious to your opponent when you're winning, and but the Raptors are winning, and they're winning by playing a style of basketball that, number one, is very easy to like and to watch. But I also think the development of certain players on the team is very encouraging about not just what can happen for the remainder of this season. And I always put the asterisks on because I hope we can touch on the injuries in the NBA. But man, oh man, Scotty Barnes, Ingram last night was phenomenal. Scotty Barnes was phenomenal. RJ Barrett has had some hiccups, but overall much improved, quickly starting to show why the Raptors were anxious and willing to invest so much money into him. Yeah. And then you go on and on. But yeah, this is it's encouraging because it comes from a place like that they're beating teams they should beat, and they're competing with the better teams in the league as well. So very easy team to get excited about, and it's great to see because it's been a drought.
It has been, for sure. Paul Stir with us from Hoop City. You hear it every Saturday from 10 to 12 here on Sports 1440. I'm going to maybe throw this at you, and I'm not sure if there is a comparison, but I don't know why it came to me last night and a little bit into this morning with the Toronto Blue Jays. And, everyone talked about them going down the stretch and then into the playoffs, being like a scrappy team and coming together and being and showing that scrappiness. Is that something that maybe you're starting to see with this core group of guys with the Raptors, Paul?
Absolutely. And I think using that same phraseology about an easy team to like and to watch, I mean, the Blue Jays were certainly all of that and a lot more. I mean, how could you not get behind that team with the kind of storylines that they had with players that were, in single A, for God's sakes, at the beginning of the season. And I think with the Raptors as well, it's interesting you mention the term scrappiness because it's something I'm going to focus on my show over the coming weeks. And that is there are several positive trends in the NBA that I'm really aware of right now that I think bode well for the league, making it more watchable again. And that one of those characteristics is scrappiness among a lot of franchises. I think we're seeing teams that are hung, and oftentimes these are teams that have been losing, and but you're seeing a scrappiness across the league we haven't seen before, and certainly that is what you're seeing with the Toronto Raptors right now. They're digging in. Like last night, the blocks, for anybody that saw the game, the blocks by Ingram and Barnes down the stretch, I mean, those were effort plays, well-timed effort plays. And yeah, it's so much easier to root for a team that's working hard, that's putting it all on the line, that's scratching and clawing to try to eke out a victory, because that could have been a very disappointing loss to a Charlotte team. Instead, they found a way to manufacture a win when they weren't playing as well as they have been.
Yeah, and when you can stack up wins at any point of the season, they won 4 in a row. And you mentioned the injuries. Let's go there then, Paul. I mean, is that? I mean, when you look at injuries, Indiana's 1-13. And the main reason why is we all know.
Yeah, injuries that not only have happened, but that keep happening to Indiana. It's incredible how how quickly fortunes can rise and fall. Like OKC is 1 or 2. They have been able to be marvelous without Jason Williams, and that is a tribute to the depth and the kind of team that they built. But what happens if SGA goes down? And I would make the jump right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo, groin injury. Giannis has taken a team that would be 1-13 without him and made them somewhat relevant, always competitive with ridiculous numbers. Now he's hurt. And of course, the big, both literally and figuratively, injury that I think everybody's holding their breath on is Wemby, who has been a revelation. Again, seeing a I mean, it's ridiculous when you talk about it. It looks like a video game when the guy's on his game. I mean, he's 7'5" out there dribbling between his legs, shooting pull-up three-pointers, and not just one, not just once in a while, consistently back to the basket. But now he's out with the dreaded calf injury, which, people always, extend out to our, oh no, are we going to see an Achilles pop again like we saw with Tatum and Halliburton? So, yeah, injuries, they're so real, but man, oh man, the big injuries to key players is really concerning in the NBA.
I think our buddy Huss texted in a while back. We had so many texts with Oilers, I can't find it, Paul, but I think he had a question for you on Wemby about an over-under for games played this year at 65. Are you under that?
Oh, I don't know. I never think about over-unders. I'm not an over-under guy. I'm not a sports.
He's out a couple weeks, right? He's out a couple weeks for sure right now.
Yeah, he's out a couple weeks. Yeah, at least 2, but with soft tissue. And I mean, you're dealing with the Spurs. Like if you have a runny nose, you're out for 4 or 5 games. I mean, they invented load management with Kawhi Leonard. So I think, we're going to see at least 2, maybe 3 weeks, and maybe even a bit more, because wisely so. And that, I think, leads to an interesting conversation, which is you talk about durability in the NBA, and Jokic's durability is phenomenal. Is it because this is a bizarre theory, of course, but what else is new? Is it because he's not as athletic? There's a lot of these guys. He plays horizontally. He doesn't play vertically. And is that a factor? When you're playing low to the ground, your base is solid, you're not falling as much. Whereas Wemby, slight of frame, although much stronger, but still he falls a lot. When you watch Wemby play, he puts himself in positions where he falls a lot. I don't know if that's a factor or not, or just a crazy thought on my part, but durability is interesting.
I don't think it's crazy, Paul, but don't you think too, he's such a young guy that he's still growing into his body, and he's not sure what's what yet?
Well, absolutely. And I've always been of the mind, like, as opposed to load management and sitting guys out, why don't you bite the bullet and play them fewer minutes?
Yeah.
As hard as that is when you're into game management, when you got a guy like that, why play him 38 minutes when you could play him 30, 20, 25 to 30? They got a great backup in Cornette that they got from Boston, which gives them some hope, by the way, and this goes out to Huss. That gives them some hope that they aren't going to tank, because Cornette's good. And I really love when they do the Twin Towers thing with he and Wemby. Like, that's very imposing. But
sorry, go on.
No, after you.
Oh, I was just going to say, I wanted to switch gears before, we kind of close things out here, and we got a few more minutes for sure. But the last time you were on, Paul, I guess I put the big jinx on OKC because it was the old Shoresy. They'll never lose again. And I think they lost that night to, was it Portland?
Well, what are you going to say today? I'm really curious because
I don't know.
I mean, this is a perfect time to do the R&D on Kevin Karius's impact on the basketball universe, and see if you can predict another lot.
You think I should be setting the lines or what?
I think so because they look unbeatable right now, and they are unbeatable right now. They're just better than everybody at the moment, and it's been great to watch. They're a really good team. But you know what? I go back to this effort scrappiness thing that I was referring to in terms of the trend in the NBA. I was just reading a great article in The Athletic about the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
They're on a 9-game winning streak. They've got 4 starters out,
10
including
10-game winning streak.
Yeah, it's 10. Yeah. It's 10. And they have 4 starters out, including their stars. And they find a way to win. Like JB Bickerstaff, their coach, has them buying into effort. I watched Chicago and Denver last night. The effort for a regular season game last night was really impressive. Of course, watching Jokic is kind of like watching, a symphony play Tchaikovsky. The guy's ridiculous. Like what he does and the way he does it is amazing. And Jamal Murray was phenomenal as well in the fourth quarter when the Nuggets were trying to come back. But then Chicago found a way to win because they were scrappy. So some really good trends and watchable trends, I think, in the NBA right now.
Yeah. Jenkins has been good too, I think, for Detroit. So.
Oh, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, really good. Hey, Paul, is it too early to have a little snippet, little harbinger, what's coming up on Hoop City this Saturday?
Well, I've got my local content being worked on right now. I think I know who it is, but I can't confirm. So I'm going to be evasive on both fronts. I've got, if all comes through for our deep dive, I really love doing the deep dive with like Jack Armstrong last weekend and Ben Golliver the week before. And I mean, we go so deep into the weeds. I just love it. I hope people's eyes aren't glazing over because of the minutia, but I just love when we can dig into the real guts of the business of basketball, the way athletes play and compete, like all of those things. So, just watch for social media. Josh has done a great job of converting our social media over now for Hoop City. And this is something I'll share.
I've heard this.
We're going on YouTube.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, everybody. Now you got to see me and see us as well as listen. But I'm really excited about it. I think I think it's going to be fun. I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of Gregor and Karius and see if I can hold my own.
You just come in, Paul, wearing those high shorts that you wore in college in Iowa. That'll be just fine. How's that sound?
I'll dye my. I'll shave. I'll get the Fu Manchu back. Dye my beard.
So good, so good. Hey, just a quick note. Like good start for the Golden Bears basketball and Pandas basketball to start the year.
Well, the Pandas were expected. I saw Scott Edwards, their longtime coach, prior to the season starting, and he said that he felt they were going to be really good, like maybe his best team ever. And they certainly haven't done anything to dispel that prediction. They are really, really good. Bears have been a pleasant surprise under new head coach Jeff Pippis, ranked in the country, and they're 5-1. Now they've got some tough games coming up. The season's still unfolding, but great start for the Bears. Very fun to watch. High effort team again. Both teams high effort, good depth, and it's great to see both teams and Bears. Such a pleasant surprise, and kudos to Jeff for coming in and being able to make the transformation from Barnaby Craddock, longtime Golden Bear head coach. And then, of course, Scott. He's one of those rare coaches that, number one in the country is University of Saskatchewan with the great Lisa Tomaitis, former national team coach. And Scott Edwards is number two in the country. You got two of the very best coaches in the country in Canada West. And we get the privilege of watching the Pandas every time they're at home over at the Saville Center.
Mm-hmm. As always, good stuff, Paul. Have a wonderful show on Saturday, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks so much, Kevin. You have a great week.
You too. That's Paul Sir from Hoop City. You hear it every Saturday from 10 to 12 right here in Sports 1440 with the great Josh Fenwick. I heard about this YouTube thing, Joshy boy, that have you been working like feverishly at this to get this off and running?
Yeah, thank goodness I have a nice little home office where I can access all the stuff that we need.
Home office, what do you mean?
Well, so according to the CRA, my bedroom also doubles as an office. So that is a write-off on my rent. So, but I have all the logins and everything that we need for this.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there at home plowing away at some things.
We have a lot of listeners from the CRA, that.
Yeah, but like it's true. It's in their guidelines.
I know.
If I use it for work, I'm allowed to write off a certain amount of square footage as a self-employed individual.
You're correct.
Which I am.
That's the way to go.
But yes, working feverishly to make sure that Hoop City is up to the quality and standard of Sports 1440 and maybe kick my own butt into gear on making things better during the week here. And I'm not just focusing on Saturdays.
On Sunday morning, I sent the Duke a text, might have been Saturday. We had a desk, a beautiful desk. Beautiful desk.
Oh, yeah. No, you were telling me about this. You had 45 minutes to take her down.
Yeah, well, less than that. And anyway, Duke said he didn't want it. I should have offered it to you. Maybe you need it for your office.
I have a desk. I'm good. It doesn't have any drawers or anything, but
This is like a Carl Fardman, though.
very nice.
That's how,
I have,
hey, Duke, that's how nice this is. You could have had it, man.
this is all I.
Would have been great, but then I would have had to take my old desk out after just moving it in 2 weeks ago and then move the new one in.
Yeah, but Kevin was offering you this desk,
Yeah.
so he clearly would have helped you move the desk out and then bring the new one in.
Yeah,
And I told you guys off air, and I'm going to say it on air. And I mean, obviously, I love Laura to death. But for this to come up during NFL Sunday, that she'd made a call that someone is picking this desk up in half an hour, and it needs to be disassembled. And it's like this is a big time desk, you guys, and it took everything to get this thing disassembled during NFL and Grey Cup preview. I was like, right now, but the wizardry and carpentry, a little rubber mallet, Duke, couple of, what they call it a come along, and that's what happened.
What did you need to come along for and taking apart a desk?
I needed everything, Duke. I had
you had to throw the whole kitchen sink at it, I
had
guess.
4 pry bars going.
Jesus.
Good Lord.
And then I had to take apart this one area that I didn't know that, and I assembled it, but it was like 7 years ago.
But it's the Fardman, so they're very well put together.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You should have seen the guy. You know what? So it was given away for free or whatever.
Mhm.
These guys pick it up and they're just on the way loading out. And they said, "So what did we discuss? Was $200 correct?" The guy goes, "No."
You'd be that guy trying to snake it, like when someone shows up for the Facebook Marketplace drop off.
No,
Dude, he had to work hard on NFL Sunday.
Yeah, true, Kevin. Yeah, your time. How
Deserved a
valuable is
little
your time for all
compensation.
the rental price of all your tools out of your garage?
That's right.
The reason he needed so many tools goes back to your favorite saying, Kev. We're not swinging hammers here. You don't know how to do it.
Corey just texted in, "Hey, if the Duke got a new desk, where would he put his golf clubs?" Well, they're out on the deck, minus 40.
They're not.
Where are they now?
Well, they're still in the backseat of my truck right now. I haven't taken them in from when I was playing at the Sim this weekend. So, but we went over it yesterday in detail, excruciating detail. They'll stay inside, and I'll just have to, work on continuing to train the poor critters that they're not allowed to scratch on the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like I said, the bag's 15 years old almost at this point, I think. So I probably would be due for a new one come springtime.
9:25 in Edmonton. We'll have a quick little segment, then do an in or out with Duke. Top of the hour, we got Terry Koshin from the Toronto Sun and the Con Man coming up at 10:20. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
Stories are told to make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction looks at the story old pipes tell us, a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com and call today to get started.
Watch out. They're back. I don't know why you treat me like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building. We're elevating. We're moving up. New space, new contracts.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
The Nissan Black Friday event is here. A full month packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive deals. Right now, finance remaining 2025 Rogue models for 0% for up to 60 months and start planning your adventures. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is easy. Visit sportselect.com and generate a QR code or check their how to play videos for step-by-step guidance. Sportselect.com, 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. Coming up to 9:30 in Edmonton. We'll have a quick little segment here before we get to In or Out, then Terry Koshin and the Con Man in the 10 o'clock hour. We spent the first 2 hours of this program giving it to the Oilers. And as I said, I don't recall going as hard on the Oilers for 2 hours in a long time. And maybe going back to 2 years ago when the team got off to an exceptionally slow start. And then, Jay Woodcroft ended up getting fired. But for 2 hours, I mean, we've gone after this team pretty good. I know some people like Naz, they don't think that. But I think for 2 hours here before we got to Paul Sir, it was 2 hours of calling this team out on many levels, from goaltending all the way out to the bottom six, to everything like that. The team as a whole needs to be incredibly better. Like, they have to take it to a level that we haven't seen yet this year. And you can go back to the second game of the year when the Oilers beat Vancouver 3-1, which seems to be that game where everybody says that the Oilers were the team who everyone thinks that they are, but they haven't been close to that in pretty well all of their games. Yeah, they've had spurts. How many times have I said it on the show that they're switch flickers? And it's happened so many times. It's just basically a given in every game. And we saw it again last night. I mean, they tried to get back into the game when it's 3-1. They have some chances. I mean, Greenway made an incredible play defensively. Zach Hyman's at the side of the net. And how many times have we seen, Zach Hyman go down low, adjust his body, maybe drop his left hand down to the shaft of his stick and his right hand more towards the blade and shovel something home. But Greenway made an exceptional play. I mean, Roslovic set up Savoy for an opportunity. That was a save by Ellis. So they were trying to get back into the game when it's 3-1. But then at the start of the third period, there's nothing there again. There's no urgency. And that's what we've been saying here. There's no passion. There's no emotion. I mean, Stu Skinner makes 2-3 saves at the start of the third period to keep the Oilers in the game, to give them an opportunity to get that 3-2 goal. And then they piss it away on that faceoff where Oslin walks around the net uncontested, You'd swear that he was coming around like Ovechkin with everybody giving him the room. Yeah, left-hand shot, right-hand shot, I get it. But just trying to think of someone who they're going to play next and tomorrow, and Alex Ovechkin. Anyway, following the game, we already heard from head coach Chris Knobloch. We heard from Vasily Podkolzin. Let's hear from defenseman Brett Kulak.
Brett, if you can, just maybe take us through the night and what you felt like was the difference here.
Yeah, I thought we actually came out with a pretty good start the first few shifts and built a little bit of momentum. But then I think, it was just a case of, not executing. Ran into a pretty good goalie over there. He's playing well and just not really playing to the level we want to get to.
Yeah, speaking of that level, we've seen that level in spurts sometimes. What seems to get away from this club when you're not on your game right now, Brett?
Yeah, we're all feeling that. Like you say, it's been spurts of where we're playing what we want to play like, and it's just not enough. We got to put in full 60-minute efforts, and I think just got to keep working away at it right now. Everyone's got to find some chemistry with their line mates and just up a little bit, everybody.
How do you guys kind of hit the reset button here to make sure that starting with game 22 onwards that you guys are playing Oilers hockey?
Yeah, I think it's just, you got to keep preparing for the next game to be at your best when the puck drops. So I think that's what everyone's focused on. And I think, it may not happen overnight, but slowly we'll find our game here and get in a good rhythm.
Was it the speed of the Buffalo Sabres that were giving you guys the most challenge today, especially in the transition?
Yeah, they're a good skating team for sure, but I don't know if that was solely the reason, but I think just little things, not strong enough defensively.
Well, not strong enough defensively for Brett Kulak, but talking about they got a really good goalie over there. And I mean, it's a guy that's played 4 games, picked up off waivers. Did you hear Kenny Reed, Duke, at the end of just going into after the broadcast?
Immediately out of the broadcast into the start of Sportsnet Central, I did. Yeah,
he nailed it.
He did.
And what is it again?
I don't even ask me.
But
I just thought it because Ivanka was basically led with that, saying he's from this place that no one can pronounce, except you can, and then he just nails it. So that was good.
I know. I think I'm going to give it a whirl here, but Kenny,
sure.
It's Waikakamoa. Does that sound right?
That sounds pretty good.
Waikakamoa. Yeah, Waikakamoa, Nova Scotia.
Waikakamoa.
I don't think it's Kokomo.
Down to Kokomo.
Yeah. Anyway, that was his 4th game in the NHL. This is a guy that's 25 years old, was a 3rd-round draft pick in 2019 from the St. Louis Blues out of the Rimouski Oceanic, has been in Worcester in the East Coast League, Springfield for a cup of coffee in the AHL, then back to the East Coast League with Tulsa, Orlando, then in Springfield, back again. And last year, he played 42 games in Springfield with the Thunderbirds and then claimed off waivers by the Buffalo Sabres on October the 6th. I wonder if the Oilers would have picked him up. Not a chance, eh? They already made their move. They made their move with Connor Ingram.
Yeah, that's their lottery ticket, if you want to call it that. And I get it. I know Liam kind of mentioned it this morning about should this decision come to be for the Sabres where they do have to choose to carry 3 goalies or put Ellis back through waivers. I get but if it reaches that point, that probably means that he's hit a bit of a cold streak and is being farmed back down to regain his game and then, be on standby should the Sabres need him again. So I just don't view that. When we always talk about the goaltending, Kevin, what do we circle and just trying to pound into the dirt? We're talking about tangible upgrades and upgrades that are discernible and concrete. Does Colton Ellis really give you that? He has 4 games in the NHL.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm not saying that the goaltending can't be better. Obviously it can. The numbers do not lie. But as we continue to reiterate, the Oilers have the most high danger scoring chances against. They were drastically outchanced again last night, off the rush, in the zone, all these things. It's not pretty. And so they don't have a rookie Patrick Waugh back there standing on his head and carrying a team through rough patches. They don't have that, but they haven't accommodated for that to be part of this team's identity because of, what are we talking about? Allocation of assets. You only have so many dollars to spend. They have chosen to not spend it on goaltending.
That's been their directive for many years now.
Well, like I said, they took the chance with Jack Campbell on the big contract out of free
Blew
agency.
up in their face.
It was an abomination. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And Jack Campbell is now, I think, playing his trade back in the American Hockey League, if that. So it didn't work. The one shot they took at it in recent memory, and so right now that's as we keep saying, like, you can have issues with the goaltending and think it needs to be better, but to come out and say that that's the number one plague of this team, I think is just preposterous.
When we come back, we'll get to in or out with the Duke of Delburne. We had a couple texts just before I did. I'm sorry, I wanted to catch this thought, and it just came up before I was going to throw it a break there. But Samuel Johnson, who was the Oilers' 5th round pick in 2022, he's been in Fort Wayne, so he's been playing in the East Coast League, and he's playing well to start his career. Now, at some point, he's going to have to, like, they got to just play the nuts off him in Fort Wayne. But at some point, he's got to make this step here to get to Bakersfield. And they got to figure that out because they need him to start seeing some real bullets here in the American Hockey League for a good amount of time. When we come back, in or out with the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Aloha, Edmonton. It's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off a $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:42 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you, as well as Josh Fenwick here on Sports 1440 in the palatial West Edmonton Mall, Sports 1440 studios. So glad you're with us on a Tuesday morning, and tons to talk about as the show progresses here for the final hour and 15 minutes or so. We got Terry Koshin and the con man, Connor Halley, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. But before that, time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, Letterbuck.
As we've discussed for the vast majority of the morning so far, Oilers losing last night in Buffalo as their road trip continues. They'll be in Washington tomorrow night. 5-1, however, last night's final. The biggest head scratcher for me last night was the removal of Leon Draisaitl, playing alongside Jack Roslovic, despite another goal on the board for the tandem.
7th of the year for Roslovic, one-timer in the slot. Nice little feed from Leon Draisaitl. He was waiting for Roslovic to join the play, join the rush. You know, I'm not going to get to the second question yet, Duke, but these first two are obviously on the Oilers. And it's so hard to pinpoint one thing. Just the way this team has been playing. Maybe the second question is more so for that point of view. But sure, I'll give you this one for a head scratcher. It's 1-1 at that point. The Oilers, a little bit of life. And then, but after 2-1, 3-1, and I thought it was after the 3-1 goal is when they went to the nuclear option. And maybe they're just trying, because Roslovic is the guy that is driving the line. You can talk about when Leon and Roslovic are together, and everyone says, well, they just assume that Leon is driving the line. But if you really break it down, could you not say that Roslovic is driving the line every bit as much as Leon and then some? It's not a crazy thing to say. So I'll go with this. But having said that, maybe the move was made to get Roslovic driving the second line or another line, because he's been the guy that's been able to do that.
Mm-hmm. So, and I get that, but if you're the head coach and your thought process is, oh man, we got to get the offense going in, sure, maybe it is, we need to get more offense across the lineup going, which would mean, like you said, Kevin, more balance. I don't see how loading up the top line serves that purpose. Yeah. And then alternatively, if you're saying, all right, well, let's just load up because it's break glass in case of emergency, we're tied with the Sabres in the second period, and that's not acceptable. Why is Jack Roslovic not the third player on that line then to load up top?
I don't know. Because Hyman, right?
Well, I get it, but
Roslovic moved to center.
Yes, and like you have so many guys that can take faceoffs on this roster. They're like, to me, that's not an excuse in this specific deployment. And I continue to scratch my head a little bit about this necessity, this instinctual fallback on that seemingly every Oilers head coach since McDavid and Draisaitl have been in the league go to.
Yeah.
And I understand it. It's tempting, but like, why at that stage of the game when it's a 1-1 hockey game?
Well, I think it was a little later than 1-1.
Well, but I'm with Spec. I don't think it was the first period, apart from maybe like one shift at the end of the first period when it was kind of down to the final few minutes.
Second period, right? They didn't tie it at 1-1 till the second.
Right.
So it has to be, it was after the 3-1 goal, I think.
Still.
I'm going in on it. So,
yeah. But as you said, if we kind of look around the rest of the team on aggregate here, we have crossed the kind of unofficial quarter pole of the season, 21 games in the books for the Oilers. It has not been pretty, but they are just 3 points back of the division lead, which is kind of wild to say based on how much we have chastised and lambasted the way the team's played. So good for them. Good on them to keep themselves in the fight. If you could fix one issue with the snap of your fingers on this Oilers team heading into Q2 of the year, I am choosing the defensive zone coverage.
I mean, you're not wrong again, but this is probably one where I'm going, you can't, like, to pinpoint one thing. It's
Mhm.
so difficult because it's been everything. It has been absolutely everything. So you could say everything. For me, is it consistency? Because that's the biggest thing, game to game, period to period, that we haven't seen. We see it for 20 minutes. We see it for a little bit more sometimes. We don't see it for a period and a half. That's why, again, they're switch flickers. That's what they are. So I'll probably go out on this one because if you're going to say consistency, then that fixes a lot of all your other problems here.
I suppose so, but and listen, I think saying defensive zone coverage is also quite vague, but consistency, we know it's tough to play 60 full minutes. We know that, and especially as in an 82 game season, it's just not realistic to expect that every single night. But as we've pointed out many times, particularly you, Kevin, we're not sure they've done it once yet this year. Maybe save that game against Vancouver. What was that, night 2 of the season?
Exactly.
So to desire more consistency is not out to left field by any stretch. I kind of thought maybe if you were going away from the D-zone coverage, you would have just picked depth scoring as an option, because here we are November 18th with a lot of games on the record in this month and 0 goals from any players on playing on lines 3 or 4.
So the difficulty of the question for me, Duke, is
pinpointing
it's just,
it to its the exact definition.
To me, it's almost, you could just say one thing, everything. How's that sound?
Not bad at all. Week 11 in the books in the NFL, picking one team from each conference currently sitting in a playoff spot to fall out of the picture. I'm going with the Steelers in the AFC North leading spot right now, and I can't believe I'm saying this because this was a team I picked to finish first in the conference, but I am not liking what I'm seeing from the Green Bay Packers.
Right now, are the Jaguars in the playoffs?
They are. They're the 7th spot.
Yeah. So we're basically saying that the Jaguars and Steelers are in the same boat, right?
Both are 6 and 4, but Steelers obviously with the division jump to 4th.
Yeah, and everyone's thinking that the Ravens are going to catch Pittsburgh. No?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go out on this one because I'm going to say the Jags. I'll say the Jags fall off a little bit here, and that's the team. And I think the Steelers, because they probably got the Bengals and Browns, the Jags will have to, I don't know the schedule off.
I'm pulling it up right now. The Jags remaining schedule reads as such: at Cardinals, at Titans, v Colts, v Jets, at Broncos, at Colts, v Titans. So 4 more divisional games still, both with Tennessee and both with Indy. And then call it a freebie against the Jets, sort of a freebie against the Cardinals. But the Jags are pretty volatile team themselves.
Boy, this is like a coin toss in the AFC for me.
I think it's much tougher in the NFC because as much as you want to put some of these teams that are on the outside looking in like, say, Detroit, who's coming out? Like the 7 teams that currently are in a playoff spot all very much deserve to be there. I'll
take the Niners.
Of course you would. Of course you would. I have a hard time on that with the Niners because they're just getting guys back now at this stage, right?
I just hope they don't win.
What is it now? They need to win 15
games. Yeah.
15 games for you to win your bet.
Yeah, they'll play 19. They're going to go 15 and 4. You know what? Could you imagine, Duke, if the Lions somehow?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I can't envision a spot where the Detroit Lions are not playing in a playoff game come January. But then I look at the rest of these 7 teams and I say, it's kind of tough. And honestly, the easy one for me is the Bears.
I think the Bears are coming back to the pack.
They will come back because their schedule gets much tougher than it has been here in the last month and change. But they are playing a good brand of football with generating turnovers on defense, even if the defensive unit isn't anything special. And the offense is kind of starting to find its stride. It wasn't great on Sunday, but I still think that Caleb Williams is showing an ability to win these games when it comes down to the wire, and that has to count for something. So I want to root for the Bears, but in my heart of hearts, I kind of think there might be the team that ends up in that 8th spot.
Yeah, good question.
Number 4, the Association on the hardwood. Oklahoma City Thunder moving to 14-1 on the year. Unbelievable start. They're doing it without their second best player, Jalen Williams. I think when you like the way they're moving, the way that the Eastern Conference is so wide open, and as a result, they're almost like gimme games for good teams like the Thunder in the West when they play them. I think the Thunder have a very realistic shot to match the Warriors' 73-9 record from back in 2016.
That's a lot of wins. That's a lot of wins. If they played out in the East, man, they would be mopping the floor with everybody.
They might win 82 games.
I'll go out just because of, the Lakers and the Spurs and the Rockets are, you had the Rockets up in your top 4 there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Denver's a powerhouse, and they lost the one game, and it was to Portland. Am I correct in that or no?
I can't remember actually. I'll take your word for it.
I'm trying to think of what it was now, but it was on that night. Joshy, can you figure that out?
Blazers, you're right. 121, 119.
Yeah, so it was Portland. I mean, in Portland right now is at below 500. So I'll say I just think there's too many good teams, and when you got that target on your back, it's tough.
And in today's NBA, if I'm poking holes in my own argument here, like we know it's a load management league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we know if guys are even a little, dinged up, nursing something, if they played a couple games consecutive with like 3 and 4 nights or whatever the case, the default is to sit them for a night or limit their minutes pretty substantially. And the Thunder are a deep team. If there's anybody that can overcome missing a top guy for a night or two, they seem like they'd be it. But I don't know. You're right, Kev. The West is very competitive. Yeah. That's where they're going to play the majority of their games. It'll be tough, but they look like a team that is virtually unstoppable right now. So I got to give them a lot of credit.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, Owen Wilson, the great Owen Wilson. Wow. Turns 57 today. I'm going to go a different, instead of his best film, as we often do. We're on a good streak of celebrity birthdays here for movies and stuff. I'm going to say his most underrated film. I'm going with The Internship, another one alongside Vince Vaughn. I think Vince Vaughn actually wrote and directed or co-wrote and directed this one as well from 2013 as his best underrated.
So picture. I haven't been able to watch this one.
Oh, you would love it, Kev.
Really?
You would love it
because
because you would find it as like the most relatable thing. It's a couple old guys trying to make their way in an increasingly technological world. They're trying to they get an internship at Google, and they're trying to get jobs there after they get laid off as like watch salesmen.
Really?
Yeah. It's lots of good laughs. I think it is very similar to Wedding Crashers. Not quite as good as Josh was very quick to point out to me in the break here when we were going over this. I think Wedding Crashers stands alone, but I think this one is right up there for his and Vince Vaughn's best.
I'm just seeing a quote from him saying that he feels or felt, I don't know when this interview was done, the Royal Tenenbaums. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have.
Me neither. I guess I'm sort of just typecast into the, him and Vince Vaughn and this, the Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this one, but this is going to be on my radar, Duke. This is going to be on my radar. So I can't tell you that it's the most underrated film.
All right.
So
you got another pick then, maybe?
Armageddon.
Oh, yeah. Such a leading role in that film. Hey, it's a star-studded cast. Somebody has to take a back seat.
And he died in it.
Yeah, that's right.
He gave his life for the, for the splitting of the asteroid or whatever it was.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to look down the IMDb here and see if there's some other options. Like, I think obviously Wedding Crashers jumps out to the top of most people's lists. Even someone like Zoolander is one of his more prominent roles back in the early 2000s. I don't know if you knew this one, Kev, or not.
Yeah.
The Pixar animated film Cars.
Oh, yeah.
Lightning McQueen. He's Lightning McQueen for all three there. And I thought Cars was a very good movie.
If you would have said his best film, Duke, would we, and Josh, boy, you did all the lines from Wedding Crashers. Is that, would you have said, is that what you would have said, Wedding Crashers? Or what? I don't know.
For his best?
His best.
Yeah, I think that's his best.
I do too. And he's got some more lighthearted ones with Yumi and Dupree. There was the other dog one where it dies.
Marley and Me.
Marley and Me.
Oh my God, how can you forget Marley and Me?
I'll be honest, I've never actually seen it.
Some of his lines too, and he doesn't have as big of a role in Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, that's true. He's
like
great in there.
What inspired, I have to say it was my, Savior Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Whatever, and they're just looking at him like, all right, good stuff, Duke. Top of the hour, we got Terry Koshin from the Toronto Sun. Before that, time now for Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, South Edmonton, your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Eight games in the NHL tonight, including Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the St. Louis Blues from Scotiabank. Or into the Kraken or in Detroit. Devils take on the Lightning. Jets hosting the Blue Jackets, Winnipeg Flames in Chicago. And the Nightcap has the Utah Mammoth on a back-to-back in California. They're in NorCal against the Sharks. On the Edmonton Oil Kings, they continue their road trip through BC with a game tonight in Penticton against the Bees. On the hardwood, half dozen games. Warriors are in Orlando. Nets hosting the Celtics. Jazz take on the Lakers. Potential for LeBron James's season debut looming for LA. And the Spurs, without Victor Wembanyama, will host the Grizzlies. Team Canada playing its final match of 2025 in lead up to next summer's World Cup. They'll take on Venezuela tonight, getting underway at 6:30. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Terry Koshin from the Toronto Sun covering the Maple Leafs and Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered with half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West Ed and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off a $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:01 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. And right now, the biggest sale of the year continues with the Jeep Compass. It's a Jeep. It's a 4x4. It's got the 8.4-inch touchscreen, the keyless entry. It's got the starting price of $34,900 only at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back Terry Koshin from the Toronto Sun, covers the Maple Leafs and other things in the Big Smoke. Morning, Coach. Welcome back to the Kevin Karius Show. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it, big guy.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin. Good to talk to you. Just St. Louis losing tonight, and a tale of 2 teams who aren't going in the right direction. But obviously, the biggest concern here is the Maple Leafs and the fact they're tied with Buffalo, who are never good at the bottom of the Eastern Conference.
I wish you could have seen our text line this morning after a 5-1 victory over the Oilers last night, Coach. You'd be going, "Oh man, it's nice to be in Toronto," is what you'd be saying.
Well, there's, you know what, I'm not privy to those, but I can only imagine there's really no way that the Edmonton Oilers should be losing the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty wild here for the first couple of hours this morning. Hey, so Brad Treliving just sort of did a State of the Union address. What was your take from that, that just availability that happened a little over an hour ago?
Yeah, you know what? There was speculation in the city that, okay, something big is coming because, the announcement that True Living yesterday by the team is going to be talking today. But really, it was just this quarter mark availability. And, Brad's been pretty accessible here in Toronto for the couple of years he's been in charge, so nothing new there. But, obviously the tone of it today is much different with the way the Leafs have really struggled here in their first 19 games. And, the biggest takeaway is that the coach is safe, and we always like to put a for now on it, but certainly True Living, I don't think he's blowing smoke when he says that he has full faith in Craig Berube to turn this around and get it going in the right direction. And also, off the top, he took the responsibility, saying, "Look, I'm paraphrasing, I built this team. It's on me. I'm in charge of everything, and this is where we are." So that, and the fact that there aren't big trades coming. The Leafs, first of all, don't have many things to trade. And as we all know, in the salary cap world, until we get around to the first week of March, nothing really happens anyway. So it's on all of them to get out of it.
What did he kind of mean by saying like too much vanilla? That was the one line that I think most people are talking about.
Yeah, well, just exactly that. So when you think of vanilla, you think pretty plain, and usually you're putting chocolate sauce or sprinkles on top of it to make it taste a little better, aren't you? Not that there's anything wrong with it itself, but yeah, just a lot of ordinary hockey and not good hockey. And, he's not wrong. I mean, it's exactly what we've all seen, and, good for him to own up to that and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's, they just haven't played to their potential. And then really that's what it is. Kevin, you take Mitch Martin out of the equation, you're going to not be as good a hockey team. And there have been injuries, but he's not using those as an excuse. Yeah. But when everybody's been ready to go, it just hasn't been there. How do you get out of it now?
Terry Koshin with us from the Toronto Sun. So a lot of injuries, though. A lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Chris Tanev just goes on long-term IR, and Matthews is on IR. Maybe give us a little update there, Coach.
Well, Matthews skated today for the first time. He's not going to play through the next couple of games. So he's probably, you're looking at next week into, the Leafs are in Montreal Saturday, maybe, but I doubt it. But then once you get past that, they're got a 5 or 6 game road trip, so somewhere in there. Tanev was on the ice as well. So, we're not quite sure how far away he will be. Obviously, he's been out for a few weeks, but, the funny thing is, neither of those guys were playing their best hockey when they were in the lineup. Certainly Tanev wasn't. And, Matthews scored a few goals, but he hadn't had any of those take charge type of performances you'd expect out of your captain, at this point. So we'll, it's on other people to step up and everything else. And, those are bigger holes to fill, but you make your way through. Like Tree said, I mean, every team goes through this. We all know that. And maybe it's an indictment of the Leafs' depth, and they're not as deep as they thought they were when players who can come in and can't, even get a win every so often. I mean, losing 5 in a row and everything. So, yeah.
And Joseph Wallbeck, Terry, in the sense that he'll start tonight, I assume. And what do you think of how he played against the Hawks on the weekend?
Good. For everything that he's been through and being away and trying to get back up to snuff. I mean, he was fine. And, they really, not that you put too much pressure on a guy who's been away for personal reasons, but the fact of the matter is they really need him to play well, because another reason why the Leafs are what they are is that Anthony Stolarz was not good when he was in and healthy. So Wall needs to take over now and be that guy for them and make those saves when required, which they haven't been getting at all. And we'll see where it goes from him. But yeah, he'll get the bulk of the look here until Stolarz is back.
Yeah. Who would you say has been the Leafs' most consistent player this year?
Tavares, John Tavares. It's hands down. Kevin, the phrase "they quit on the coach" or "have they quit on the coach" gets thrown around a lot when things don't go well. First of all, I don't see that here. But second of all, it'd be embarrassing to put that to a guy like John Tavares, because he's just not the way that he plays. Effort's never an issue for the guy. Here he's 35 years old. And not only is the effort always the same, but, he continues to put up the points and on pace for, numbers that would be approaching career highs. So he's been that guy for me. You put him anywhere and he'll produce for you. And every so often a fire still has to be lit under Willie Nylander. Has been a shot on goal in the past 2 games. First time that's happened in back-to-back games in I think about 6 years. So he doesn't fall into that most consistent category. For me, it's been Tavares far and above everyone else.
For sure. Yeah. Terry Koshan with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Craig Berube, and you said about Tree Living saying, he's our guy and we have full confidence in him. Have you noticed him? Because when you're losing, everything sucks and there's so much spotlight on you. Have you noticed him a little bit different in the last couple of weeks? His demeanor, the way he's, I'm waiting for the top to blow is what I'm saying here, Coach.
Well, the top blows during games and practices and stuff. I mean, every so often, but on our side of it, he's been even keel and everything. And there's certainly frustration on his part that the record is where it is. But in the public realm, he hasn't, certainly with us, I mean, he hasn't, been that type of person. He's not an overly tightly wound guy. One thing we've come to know is he just isn't that way on the day to day. Now, that doesn't mean that he doesn't want to get out of this, obviously, like everybody else. And I think for Berube, probably the thing is maybe more of a balancing act between finding that fine line, however you want to put it, that cliche, Kevin, about, okay, how hard do I go on these guys and when do I pull back? Because right now, I don't think a lot of yelling and screaming is going to help.
I don't know too much about Jacob Quillen, who's going to, I think, play tonight, Coach. What do you know about this guy that's called up from the Marlies?
Well, he's a kid with confidence. I signed him a few years ago. Pointy game guy with the Marlies, 14 points in 14 games. In these parts of the East, infamously said, a year and a bit ago that he was going to make, or his goal was to make the Leafs out of camp. And, we all thought, okay, whatever, not much chance of that happening. He went down to the Marlies last year, had a much better year after Christmas. He was almost at a point a game pace from January 1 onward. So, the guy that's going to get an opportunity now because the Leafs, 3 centers are out of the lineup and Lawton, Matthews, and Nick Waugh. And, they don't seem to have any regrets with how the David Kemp thing turned out. And, he's gone to Vancouver now and he didn't have an opportunity here no matter what the situation was. So it's Quillen's time to step in and let's see what he can do.
Yeah. And Troy Stetcher's going to make his debut tonight too?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yep. With Dakota Murmis. And, we got our first, look at Stetcher yesterday and it's interesting, right? Like, I know obviously you and your listeners know a lot about Stetcher, but not a big human being, and really what the Leafs don't prefer in their defensemen, size-wise. Tree Living's always talking about length and reach and what he likes his defensemen. And, I think what they're hoping for here is they've had such trouble moving the puck into their own zone that Stetcher can at least give them a little bump in that department and then see where it goes. And he's a right-handed shot, which doesn't hurt either, right? So, yeah, so he had his first practice yesterday. A bit of a bonus for him. He joined the team, on the weekend in Chicago. And the Leafs, teams obviously don't do this often, but they stayed behind after the game Saturday night, had a team dinner, and flew home on the off day Sunday. So Stetcher got a chance to meet the guys more in a loose setting, like he said yesterday, not walking into the room, having to meet guys. So maybe that'll help him out in his first game, but. Yeah, he's something that they hope a player they hope they can help right off the hop.
Well, one thing that you're going to notice, and Leafs fans are going to notice, Terry, is that he'll never cheat a shift. You're going to get absolutely everything from him every time that he's on the ice, and I think that's something that most teams would love to have right now.
Well, you know what, Kevin, what he said yesterday too, that's what I wrote today. It was like he came in and said, I've got a chip on my shoulder. I've always been told no. And really the Leafs could use that type of approach. They all could from top down to bottom.
Absolutely.
Terry
Koshan with us from the Toronto Sun. How would you assess Matthias Maselli's play this year, coming in as a free agent, signing for, the 1-year deal, but what's missing here?
He's what they thought he was going to be. You hope that he can bring you something, or I shouldn't say that he's what they thought they're going to be. They hope that they could get the guy who was on the all rookie team a few years ago and not the one who was a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
for the last 20 games or so with Utah. And he's been up and down. Some games you see him, some games you don't. Kind of what came as advertised, so not great for them, but that could apply to pretty much all of their guys other than Tavares so far.
Exactly. And I'm sure he was sort of asked this morning and Tree Living about possibilities of trades, maybe a shakeup. Do you see anything like that, on the horizon here?
I don't, because they don't have assets, and you got to clear money out, and I don't know how you do that properly. I mean, in salary cap world, they're up against it for the most part, and it just they don't have the room to do it. And with that in mind, Tree says, okay, well, I have the belief that the guys in the room can do this. Well, what else can he say, really? But no, there's no, like he said, you're not airlifting 15 guys and then solving your problems.
Anything extra for the Big Chief tonight, playing his Blues team where he won a cup?
I don't know. He's the type of guy that doesn't. He'd probably tell you not a lot, but I would imagine, of course, you want to beat the team that let you go not that long ago. So, there's a lot of ties there for him, a lot of ties to the players. I mean, he was the driving force behind the Leafs' desire to get a hold of Braden Shen last year before the deadline. Of course, that didn't happen, but you always have those special feelings for the teams you coached, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it's always hindsight and looking back with how the Mitch Marner thing was handled, viewed. I mean, when you look back at it, Coach, what do you think? Like, is there something that could have happened that maybe would have helped this franchise? And, all the points, but is there something that you think could have happened?
Sorry, what with
Marner? At the tail, last year,
there was nothing that was saving that from
absolutely nothing that could have happened.
He had one skate out the door.
Yeah, he just didn't want to be there anymore at all.
I guess I should amend that. There are some people who think that had the Leafs beaten Florida in the second round, that would have solved that issue. I don't think it would have. The Stanley Cup win, have him say, well, I don't see how it wouldn't have, But
would there have been any way that they could have approached him then and said, "Well, we got to move you out at the deadline. I know the no movement and everything like that, but any chance?"
Well, they did, right? They did, and he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go. So
I was thinking besides the one with Carolina.
No, I don't think so. No. Okay. Well, I mean, if you're the Leafs, you at that point, you better be getting a Rantanen type player available, and then that he becomes unavailable. So, the fact they got Nick Roy out of Vegas, because Mitch didn't want to wait and to go to free agency. Good for them, I guess. Better than nothing for sure.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, Coach, always good stuff. Thanks for checking in, and thanks for giving us an update on everything in Leafland. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll chat soon.
Will do. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Yeah, that's Terry Koshin from the Toronto Sun. Has been covering the Leafs and long time in Toronto. The game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. And again, the Jeep Compass on sale right now starts at $34,900 only at StAlbertDodge.com. That's, we got a busy slate of games in the NHL tonight. That's one of them, Blues and Leafs. I don't know if there's a game of the night that people would probably want to keep an eye on. Maybe the Rangers and Golden Knights, because New York's been playing so well and on the road, and Vegas obviously struggling with what's going on there. Just looking at the rest of the schedule, it's kind of a weird night in the NHL as far as matchups. Detroit Red Wings are off to an 11-7-1 start against Seattle. They're 9-4-5. So it's one of those weird nights where there aren't the headliner type games. When we come back, the con man, he's on a Tuesday now. We got to talk about the Chargers. What happened against the Jacksonville Jaguars on the weekend. That's straight ahead on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned progressive jackpot slot Mega Moolah. Play for free at jackpotcity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit jackpotcity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I know a lot about how RVs work. I post videos on Facebook every week showing the weak points and how failures can occur. But even I don't winterize my own RV.
What are you saying, Rick? You don't think you could do it?
Oh, sure, Bob, I could do it, but I couldn't do it at a professional level. When you expect your RV to survive the harsh northern Alberta winter, this is no place for hobbyists. And I don't service used RVs all day, every day. Instead, I hired people smarter than me to do that sort of work. That's the team that winterizes my trailer, the same team that'll winterize yours.
Your RV service team works 12 months of the year repairing and maintaining used RVs.
That's right, Bob. If you want your RV working right in the spring, the real work happens now, in the fall. Our winterization packages start at just $99, and that includes a full report in writing. No surprises, just the great outdoors waiting for you when the last of the snow melts.
And that's No Bull. NobleRV.ca. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, a proud presentation of Sports Select.
In store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
Program 1020 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you on a Tuesday morning. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. Get in on the action with some hockey, football, and basketball. Bet in the original at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Adam Schefter from ESPN reporting that head coach of the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, told reporters today that Aaron Rodgers has that fracture in his wrist that will not require surgery. His status for Sunday's game against Chicago is uncertain. Also, Jaylen Warren's ankle injury will limit him early in the week, but he's optimistic about his availability for Sunday. They should also get Darius Slay back this week. That's in Chicago, or is it in Pittsburgh? I can't remember, but it is against Chicago. I would expect a nice low-scoring game between those two teams. You never know. Defensive game. As we welcome in the con man, Connor Halley, Fantasy Frenzy, Jason Greger Show. Well, con man, I was playing a guy this week that had, he had two Chargers.
Only two?
Only two. One of them was Dicker the kicker.
Okay.
And the other was quarterback Justin Herbert. And I was like, okay, if this can be a nice low-scoring game. He also had, in the matchup, he had Etienne. So I was going,
okay,
nice low-score game. I got a chance to win, and that's exactly what happened.
Well,
4 points for
low-scoring on one end.
Herbert, yes, low-scoring. But I mean, he was.
This is what you brought me on for.
Yeah,
rub my face.
How are you doing with your Chargers?
The game's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago, Pittsburgh. That's good.
To be honest with you, the second that Joe Alt went down on top of Rashawn Slater,
My expectations dropped quite a bit. Those two guys you have on the field, you can probably run the football a lot better, keep Justin Herbert upright, give the defense more time. When those two guys go down and all of a sudden
Tough of a line, isn't it?
4 of your 5 linemen are the worst or second worst at their position per Pro Football Focus, probably not going to win too many football games. And, that showed. Like, they can't block. And then Bradley Bozeman's out there faking injuries and diving and things like that. And, defense got kind of schooled as well. So I turned it off. I was in a very bad headspace watching those first few minutes. And I was like, you know what? Why am I doing this to myself?
We never talked a whole hell of a lot here about the Monday Night Football game because our text line today was as busy as I've probably seen it since we started. You'll get to see some of it here. But Dallas, this game was never in question in Vegas. And you could see, the emotion that this team was playing with because of Marshawn Nealand. So, and they carried that through. Sometimes you might have a letdown at times, but and it's Vegas.
Yeah.
I get it, but
I was going to say, that probably didn't hurt. You're playing with a little emotion, but the Vegas Raiders aren't a good football team. We talked about it, at the wrap of the show yesterday, and it was just like, Dak is a good quarterback. If you can neutralize Max Crosby, he's going to have a good game. 4 touchdown passes. Like he was finding guys wide open. The Raiders just aren't a good club. Even the Cowboys defense, looking a little bit more revitalized with the changes that they've made. Kenny Clark and then Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson made some plays out there. Again, though, you have to say it's the Raiders, and Geno Smith doesn't make the best decisions. And you had drops from Genty, and Brock Bowers is only one man. You can only do so much. So yeah, I think the Raiders are in a bad spot. They need to find their franchise quarterback and protect him. But for the Cowboys, had to feel good for them. And I don't know if Lance is listening, but we made a Starbucks gift card bet. Well, he's a Raiders fan, right? So I said, I'll take that action. So I'm looking forward to my
odds
Starbucks.
did he give you?
I assume it was just money line, but
really?
I would have given him the spread as well because
and
the Raiders are just in a tough spot right now. And, I guess you keep on losing and hope you can get that top spot. But there's not that Joe Burrow out there in the draft this year.
I switched over from the Oilers game pretty quick, and I saw the list of Raiders coaches.
Yeah.
Did you see that too, Duke? Yeah. Since, based John Gruden, since he went, and we're talking about the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
We're not going back here. The Vegas Raiders. There's 5-6 guys.
Well, and I could have told you Antonio Pierce was a bad hire.
Yeah.
The second they locked that in, I remember thinking, and Raiders fans were fired up. Okay, you beat the Chargers by 45 points or whatever. That was great. That got Brandon Staley fired. That got the Chargers Jim Harbaugh. They were okay with that. He wasn't ready to be a head coach yet, in my opinion. And, you can go back to Gruden's original run with the team, right? When they traded him to the Bucks, only to lose to him in the Super Bowl. They've had a long run of head coaches. Lane Kiffin, Tom Cable, Dennis Allen, Tony Sperano was there. I think interim might have been for the year. Jack Del Rio. It was wild. I always thought Rick Bisaccia was going to be a good coach. He's a good special teams coach. We've seen Jim Harbaugh come from that route. But it's been quite the wild ride. And I think Raiders fans might be already frustrated with Pete Carroll. I think you got to keep him and let him build that culture for a few years. But it's wild what's going on there.
I got to ask you this question too, because we had it in or out, and it's a tough one, especially in the NFC. This is from the Duke, and Week 11 is in the books in the NFL, picking one team from each conference to fall out of the playoff picture. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers, is what Duke said. So I see his argument in the AFC with Pittsburgh. I also threw in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Those would be my two. I think everyone, but here's the thing, both teams have the 6-4 record. They'll be duking it out between the two of them. Are you with everyone saying that Baltimore's going to overtake Pittsburgh in the AFC?
Absolutely. It was about a month ago when the Steelers had that big lead in the division, and there were some people in our office talking about betting on the Steelers to make the playoffs. And I was like, I wouldn't do it. It's still pretty early. Lamar Jackson, he's going to come back.
Yeah.
So I think they could fall off potentially, especially, these injuries, Aaron Rodgers with that wrist problem. We'll see how it impacts him. Jacksonville could fall out. I also think the Chargers could fall out.
Do you?
Yeah, they get the Raiders after the bye. Then they've got the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Texans, the Cowboys. It's not an easy schedule.
You
Like
got that right.
500 might be enough to keep you in because they are 7-4, but I just don't think I think they're a prime candidate to fall out. And the Chiefs are going to go on a run.
Yeah. So the NFC is a little more difficult. And I mean, Green Bay's right there. We even brought up, for Pete's sake, the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Well, they're not even in the playoffs, right?
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Chicago? Because that's a team that
we brought that up too.
The amount of games that they won by one possession that could go the other way. Like, even though they won those games, and I bring that up, it's a good thing for the Bears, right? To go through all these things, but they've got the Steelers, which will be tough. They've got Philly, Green Bay, Cleveland's in there. Cleveland's not so good, but that defense is nasty. San Francisco, Detroit. Would it surprise you to see them lose a bunch of those games? No. So I think the Bears, as much as I like what they've done this year, could be a candidate as well.
It's a fair comment. I did say it the last week going into this week that the Bears are going to be in first all by themselves after Detroit's going to lose in Philadelphia on the Sunday night game. So
Dan Campbell, maybe it's because we're in Edmonton, we don't see it, but he should be ripped for that coaching performance. Like the decisions
5 turnover rundowns, right?
Terrible. Yeah. And then at the end of the game, when you need to convert, he starts punting. So swap those decisions around, pin them deep because your defense was doing an okay job. Like I like it, but I said on Fantasy Frenzy, it reminded me of year 2 and 3 of Brandon Staley with the Chargers, where all of a sudden it was just like, is he spinning a wheel? Like what's going into this decision making?
Well, the thing that should be going in is that the fact is that Goff was on his ass all night and under total duress. So that's when you got to take a little heat off him. Okay, we don't need you to convert on 4th and 5.
Yeah.
We're going to punt this one, or we're going to try a long field goal. Something like that,
Punt it away. Yeah. Hopefully you get a stop, get the ball back on, your own 40, 50, 30 even, not in the shadow of the uprights and go from there. It didn't seem like a very good coaching decision. It's funny. I had someone text me, he DM'd me on Twitter saying, hey, who should I start this week in fantasy? I've got Jacoby Brissett or Jared Goff. I don't think it went very good for either of those guys, but I think I went with Brissett. So,
okay.
Yeah.
How are you doing in your old fantasy?
Well, similar to your opponent, I had Herbert. In every league, I have Justin Herbert as my quarterback. So even in the game against the Colts, when they got stomped, he got garbage time touchdowns. Getting pulled didn't help him. I had Kamani Vidal, Keenan Allen, all these guys spread out. Yeah. So no, I went 1-2. Jahmyr Gibbs got me one of the wins that I really needed. And
he was about the only guy that did anything for Detroit.
And why not? Like, I guess you can't just always do it, but getting him involved in the screen game, he's unbelievable. Like, if he decides to at one point, I don't know, Le'Veon Bell talked about this back in the day. Like, at one day, I'm just going to stop playing running back and play receiver.
Yeah.
I think he could do it. You throw him in the slot, get him involved in trick plays. Like, he's so dynamic. But yeah, I went 1-2 this week. One of the leagues I lost is the Fantasy Frenzy League. The other league I'm 9-2. So it's not panic hasn't quite set in yet.
You're doing just fine.
So it's going pretty good, I'd say. How about you?
I'm 7-5. I'm just fine right now. We'll make the playoffs because we have the divisions, and worst case that I'll do a crossover.
Yeah.
Somewhere because the other division stinks.
Are you in the Guillotine League with Gregor?
No. Hey, off topic here because I just found this out last night. And I didn't hear parts of Gregor's show yesterday because I had hockey. Did Gregor talk about anything with a CFL pool?
No.
He never did, hey?
Nothing came up about
that. Well, let me just bring this up because I think this is worth, for your show at least, maybe coming a little earlier, maybe the tail end of low tide. The CFL Squares pool Jason Gregor won $1,400 on the Great Cup.
He did mention that.
He did mention
Actually, he did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he did? Okay. Oh, on low tide.
I heard it. Yeah, it was brief though. Won the pool first time.
I found this out last night.
The squares, yeah.
And on the squares, yeah, he had the halftime and then the final. So he had 400 at half. I think it's so first quarter's 2, third quarter's 2, halftime's 4, and the finals 1,000.
Jeez.
So 1,400 big ones. And then you know what he said?
You should be bringing in donuts, maybe.
Well, that's what I said. But I heard what he said to the guys was, well, I've been in this thing for like 14 years. First time I won. So it's basically even Steven. No. You just won 1,400, big guy.
Have you ever won the squares?
Yes. I won the squares in the Super Bowl I think I can get the players because it's so long ago. It was Pittsburgh and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, the James Harrison play?
James Harrison at halftime. That 90-yard interception for a touchdown. One myself and Dougie Monroe. We split it because I think it was a few hundred bone. We split the halftime because of that. James
Did you
Harrison.
know a touchdown would get it?
Not a clue.
No?
Not a clue. But apparently, Dougie Monroe, this was when Moe's, this is in a million years ago at Moe's Sports Parlor.
Yeah.
That came in and he folded. He's like, I didn't even know, man. So,
There's probably people saying, like, okay, if the Steelers don't score, I win. And then another guy, like, touchdown here, I'm going to win this thing.
Exactly.
I won it once, but it was just halftime.
Yeah.
And it was at a friend's house, and I was going to an establishment. It was perfect. I left the house with like a couple $100. Like, all right, the second half is paid for. So it's a fun game.
As you can imagine, Connor Halley with us here on Sports 1440, the Kevin Karius Show. Heavy duty Oilers today. Levi says, you should be more worried about the Oilers here than the NFL. There's no excuse for a 5-1 loss to Buffalo. Did you watch any of the game last night?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. How worried can I get? It's like they lost. They sucked. They're the second best team in every facet of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. What more can you say?
Oh, man. I was called a coward on the air this morning.
What'd you do?
Well, I guess I wasn't lambasting the Oilers enough. I asked Duke, I said, give me your opinion, Duke. I said, out of the 2.5 years or 2 years, 3 months we've been doing this, I think I came down harder on the Oilers today than ever before. Maybe going back to when Woody was fired, like just right before that.
Oh, man, that was bad.
That was because we were just on the air.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was just doing radio. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I think, and Duke agreed that this morning, but yeah, we even played the Coward of the County.
I don't even know what that is. That a song?
No, Kenny Rogers.
Oh,
Coward of the County.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
K-Rod.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, how many times can you scream and just be like, it was embarrassing. It was a terrible performance. They're losers.
Same.
Like, it's just, it is disappointing to, you look, how many shots did McDavid have?
The one point that this will be the third time I say it. Last night they didn't lose to Tage Thompson. They didn't lose to Alex Tuck. They lost to Noah Ostlund. They lost to Tyson Kozak. Ostlund's a first-round draft pick. He was taken 5 picks after Matt Savoy. Tyson Kozak was a 7th-round draft pick that started in the face-off to start the game against Connor McDavid and shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
Beck Mallenstein, a 5th-round draft pick that no one has ever heard of, hasn't scored in 56 games.
Gregor's wanted the Oilers to acquire him for a while.
Josh Dunn, undrafted. Isaac Rosen is a first-round pick, but really just cutting his teeth. Colton Ellis picked up off waivers from St. Louis in his 4th NHL game. That's who beat you last night.
Yeah.
So that shows you how much lack of intensity, lack of will, lack of commitment, lack of heart, lack of everything that you threw out last night.
Mm-hmm.
So
one shot for McDavid.
One shot for McDavid?
Nurse and Bouchard combining for 11 shots. That's not a good formula, Kev.
I will say that I was kind of concerned. I thought that could be quite serious. McDavid went into by the bench and fell on Kozak's skate.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he could have cut the back of his leg. And they looked at it. He went off. I don't know if you remember that.
Something happened.
Yeah. I don't think anything, but I think
a scare.
Well, I think it was a big scare because he immediately grabbed, and I think it was the back of the blade of the skate. It would have been like a freak injury, like Caden Gooley cut his thigh last year and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's to the point, Kev, where it's like, you can come and scream into the mic all you want, and everyone knows there's problems with this team. And I pound the drum, like the solution's from within. They've got to find a way to get out of playing this style of hockey, and avoid taking dumb penalties, do the little things that it seems like they don't want to do. And if I'm Kevin or Chris Knobloch, I think I might just put that game on loop on the team playing. Just you have to watch this game. See what happened in this game. Unlike, you can't watch anything else. No movies, no cards. I'm taping your eyes open like that movie.
Here's the thing, Con, man. You could probably take 10 games. You just pick one out of the thing. Here, put this on. It'll be the same thing. You don't even have to say who it's against.
Yeah.
Don't even have to say who it's against.
What's that movie, Clockwork Orange?
Is that
where their eyes are like taped open?
Taped open?
Yeah, and you just make them watch the lowlights for the whole flight home whenever this trip ends.
That's like the big torture thing, is it not?
A little bit, yeah. But also motivating.
What would be your worst torture thing? Like if you were, say, in Like, do you ever watch that Special Forces?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I've watched a few episodes. I don't get it.
Yeah.
My wife watches it.
Yeah, so they're torturing some people the other day. I think putting them under.
Worst
the water.
torture would be if you held me underwater,
just
like below my nose, so I just couldn't breathe, but I could see.
Yeah,
like
you couldn't handle that.
Well, if I died that way, that'd be a.
Well, no, but it's more. They're not. Like if you were up to your nose in water,
pulling my fingernails out, maybe that would hurt.
What about
paper
like,
cuts?
Like they always say, like the dripping of a tap. If you had to listen
Oh.
to that for days and weeks, that could drive you nuts.
Do you remember a station down the dial that had the really tough contest?
Maybe.
And they did a thing where they put a girl in a bathroom in the basement, and it played "Wake Me Up When September Ends," but just those lyrics on loop. And she had to sit in the dark room with that for 48 hours. I think she made it 10 hours. Like,
Really?
So that would be pretty tough, I guess.
Wow.
There's lots of ones.
Oh,
honey, and then putting fire-eating ants on me or something. There's lots of ways you could torture me. I'd be squealing quick.
Honey eating ants. Pillman says, the bamboo shoots under the fingernails.
Oh, like.
I mean, there's some pain, man. These guys aren't messing around.
There's a lot of things you could do.
Yeah.
What was it in Fast and the Furious when they put the rat on the chest and then the steel bucket and they heat up the steel bucket?
Game of Thrones?
Oh, Fast and Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay.
Well, they definitely do it in Game of Thrones too.
Wow.
So I'll say this: I've seen more Game of Thrones than I have Fast and Furious movies.
It's a timeless torture strategy.
I guess so. Tried and true.
The mouse or rat only has one way to go.
Husk says stuck in a coffin alive 10 feet underground.
That's like, yeah.
Like then, and they give you a lighter, just to see where you are.
Oh, I wouldn't turn it on.
Or a little flashlight.
There's a lot of things you could. In history, I saw a meme about those devices where they stretch you, like from each limb, and they pull. It was like for half a second that probably feels really good, and I would agree. And then after that, it would probably
unloosen your back.
Yeah, it's crack, and then
maybe they should do a few of these things on the Oilers plane.
Torture them. Maybe they should not even get maybe they should take a train or
take the Cleveland Indians from Major League plane
or hop on a bus. You guys we gotta dumb this down and reset everything.
Good stuff, Con Man. What's coming up on the Gregor Show today?
Keith Gretzky actually going to join us, assistant GM of the Oilers and GM of the Bakersfield Condors. We'll have Struddy, Kevin Woodley, Mark Spector going on vacation soon. Just got that email
going on Thursday. Thursday's the last show, or no, Wednesday.
Wednesday will be the last show, and
he's
then
going to Portugal for his 60th birthday.
Yeah, quite nice. There, it's beautiful, and then DVD as well.
DVD. Good stuff, Con Man. Good luck to your Chargers after the bye week.
Thank you.
Okay, buddy. That's Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy. You'll hear him at the top of the hour with the Duke of Delburne, and then 2:00 with the Jason Gregor Show. When we come back, we will wrap up the show. Maybe get it to a few more of these torture texts that have come in. Wonder what I bet Josh would be able to handle a lot of torture. Not even close. He'd be the first guy to tap out. That's coming up after the break. The Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hey everybody, it's Chief Principe and Jason Stradler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more.
While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Puckberger, Ron Lowe,
Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more.
Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip.
Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Hand delivering a hamper to a family in need fills everyone's hearts with joy. Be part of the Holiday Hamper program. Adopt a local family and see the difference your groceries and gifts make firsthand. Sign up today at holidayhamper.ca.
hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Karius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440. Watch out.
They're back. I don't know why you're treating like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building. We're elevating. We're moving up. New space, new contract.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
The Nissan Black Friday event is here. A full month packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive deals. Right now, finance remaining 2025 Rogue models for 0% for up to 60 months and start planning your adventures. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
It's
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:43 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you on Sports 1440. Final segment of the show. I have to update our NFL picks, Duke. After a fabulous weekend, just a fantastic weekend. 4-0 in the NFL. 0-1 in the CFL, only because of Shea Patterson.
Cup.
Right?
Yeah.
The Grey Cup helped you, Duke.
It did. Well, I was very confident in that pick.
No, you weren't.
I was. And that's funny because unfortunately, that goes down as a. This doesn't go down as like a win for me, but just because of your loss, because you picked the game. I should have taken that instead of the Bills.
So the Tampa Bills game?
Yeah.
That was 5.5, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
The Bucks were like the final score is lopsided and rightfully so to an extent, but that was a close game for the vast majority. Josh Allen just went hero mode. He won them that game. The Bills defense is still a big problem. Yeah. He's only the third. It's only the third time it's ever been done in NFL history. 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. The last quarterback to do it, Josh Allen.
Oh, really?
I think a year or 2 ago, and then before that, some guy from like the 60s.
I thought maybe the only guy that I could think of would have been Lamar. So what are the standings at then?
I don't have it open, but I believe it's 23-26 now.
26 for the Duke, 23 for KK.
You have closed the gap at an admirable rate. And I know I was pretty hard on Donovan for giving a few away.
I think it was
but I'm at 0-3 since returning. In my
Duke,
picks.
That's what happens when you go away.
I lost my touch.
You're not focused.
I became
focus isn't there.
Out of focus with it, and now I'm paying the price. But I remain confident. Thursday nighter, this is a tough spot for me to be in. The Bills, who redeemed themselves a little bit after the embarrassing loss to Miami with that aforementioned win over Tampa Bay, they take on my Houston Texans. So there's bias in the pick. There's bias. This is the team that I'm rooting for on a week-to-week basis.
And it's 5.5 right now?
That was the last I saw.
Well, we could help the Duke out here and raise make the spread 6 or something. Just
right,
to give
of course.
Help. Montana Rice says the Duke will choke this away, no doubt.
Wow.
Can you imagine this after that massive lead that you had, Duke?
That would be a tough scene for me. I would not be pleased. But yeah, 5.5 points. Currently, Buffalo is favored on the road in Houston. No status update on CJ Stroud just yet. Yesterday, the last word I'd heard or read, on the Twitter sphere was that both him and Jalen Petrie were still in protocol. So they're going to need to hit that practice field sooner rather than later.
And are we done? We're done now with the Sunday early morning games, correct?
Yeah, last Europe game for the year was Sundays in Madrid.
So we'll have Sunday night, obviously, Monday night, and then are we going to add one more in here and do
four per weekend? So like Eddie just gives us one from the rest of the slate.
Or Eddie could do two. We could always have it so someone's winning that week
instead of just
a
potential
split.
splits.
We could do
where,
it. It's up
where
to
both
you.
of us just go 0 for 2 and it's just tied all the time.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. I'm game for whatever. I'm confident. I remain confident in my ability to pull out of this tailspin and get things back on track. I'd had a good year for the first 9 weeks before I left for holiday, and since returning, it's not been pretty.
DJ BNME just texting out. Well, Adam Schefter reposting. Good news for the Texans. CJ Stroud
on the practice field,
likely to be back at practice today. Doesn't mean he'll clear concussion protocol by Thursday, but at the very least, Duke, he'll be back against the Colts next week. I thought you liked Davis Mills better anyway.
That's not true. I like Davis Mills. I think he's a very capable backup.
That was MTR that said Mills was better.
Mills. It's Mills Mafia versus Bills Mafia on Thursday night. So, and hey, I'm gonna be watching this game from the bus since being re-added to the Critter roster.
I can't believe I haven't got the call.
We're leaving at like 3:30.
I can't believe I haven't got the call. I just went out and people were shocked about it over there at the coffee
that you
machine.
haven't been.
Yeah, they were asking me about.
Do you want my spot?
No.
The Oilers play on Thursday night.
I know they do, but it's in Tampa. I mean, what are we going to say? I just can rewrite. I'll rewrite and redo my notes from the last.
Yeah, just copy and paste over top of the word Buffalo.
Honestly, I started writing the same stuff last night, Duke, and I was like, hey, didn't I just? I went back from.
Felt like Groundhog's Day.
It's the same thing. Text 833-401-1440. Brendan says, I've been to the Museum of Torture in London, England. A lot of cool torture techniques used in medieval days. Josh Fenwick, now, could you handle any torture? Like, I would say you would be the guy that would be under the faucet with the drip on the forehead, and that would make you lose your marbles.
Yeah, that's what's it called? Chinese water torture? No, absolutely not. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do any of this.
Nothing.
I need you to be, I will give it up immediately. Whatever those people are asking me for that they feel the need to torture me.
Kill you.
You know what? Death is better than whatever it is they'd be trying to do to get that information out of me. Worst one, though, it was in Taken 3. They hang you upside down and they just put a little hole in the top of your head and then you start to slowly bleed out.
They do what?
They hang up Liam Neeson's wife from her feet and they poke a little hole in her head, not enough to like make her unconscious or anything, but then all the blood was draining. Taken 3. I think it was the third one.
Duke's. I just thought of this torture, Duke.
Oh boy,
from the Cowboy Way.
Yeah, Josh.
Josh would never.
No, yeah. Josh wouldn't think that that's torture. He'd think that just is a good Friday night.
All right, can you let me in on this?
You've never seen the Cowboy Way?
No, I haven't.
Oh, such a funny movie.
Woody Harrelson.
It's needless to say they head over to, I think it's just like a petting zoo, isn't it? In the city, yeah. And it's a baby calf, and that hasn't been fed its bottle yet for the night.
Oh God!
And so they just drop trow.
Yeah, no. That's okay, thanks.
Oh, could you imagine?
Wonder how long you'd last, if you know what I mean.
No,
you're sick.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You sick son of a gun.
That was a good scene there, though.
That's a great movie. That's a funny one.
Yeah.
We used to watch that sometimes in the minivan on the way to like a hockey game or whatever. If you had like I said, Duke of Delburne, we had some pretty long trips for regular games on a week-to-week basis. Viking, one of the really far ones we'd trek out to. So you'd get a good one going on the DVD player in the minivan. Cowboy Way was a classic.
Was it Pepper? And what was the other?
Oh, I can't remember.
Pepper was, and they were, they were in the rodeo and they had to give up his belt buckle to get some cash and whatever. And then they went to that restaurant, remember? And they were ordering the steak.
Yeah, they're ordering.
Yeah, knock the horns off its ass and put it on the plate.
Put it on the plate.
Yeah. Oh man.
I've seen that before.
You have seen?
I don't think I've seen
I
that.
think
I've
you've probably
definitely
seen
seen
that
like a
clip.
clip of that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad news says no way. It's the rat in the bucket that's pressed against your stomach, and then you hear the bucket. Oh, that would. Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely the rat in the bucket.
That one would be bad. That'd be tough.
I don't know.
Because it's only got a rat's only got one way to go at that point.
What do they say? Cornered rat, or well, any cornered animal, really. And they got pretty good teeth on them, Kev. They would get through your leathery skin even in pretty short order. I think might take a few extra gnaws, but they'd find a way.
Oh man. Oh well, that was a wild show this morning. And you know what? As soon as the 4-1 goal went in, Duke.
Yeah.
I said to Laura, we were watching the game, obviously, and I went, it's not going to be a whole lot of fun on the text line tomorrow morning.
No, and and then I tuned in for the little bit of the post game show right after too, because I was waiting for the Ducks game to start, and like I said, I was pretty well checked out of Monday Night Football at that stage. So I threw it on him. I think Walker's like opening comments was like, "Yeah, I'm not too sure how long post game's going to go tonight after that performance. Probably about as long as you, the listeners, wanted to." And I have to assume the text line was pretty hopping, pretty buzzing.
Buddy Baker says, have you heard of the NASA silence room? They will pay people $1 million if they can last a night in there. Nobody's ever made it an hour. It's so quiet you can hear your blood moving through your veins.
I've heard of this place.
Is that real though?
I mean,
why would NASA pay someone $1 million?
The vacuum of space.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, right.
Hear my own thoughts actually forming in my head.
I don't
know. You can hear the brain.
Kevin, you wouldn't be able to hear your own blood because your blood pressure is not high enough anymore.
It's low. It's low now.
It's too low now. It's too low now.
JP texts in KK. What the hell is up with Frederick? He was more tenacious and hungry on Boston. Don't know. I mean, maybe he needs to sit a game in the press box. And I mean, they did it with Jordan Kyrou, who's way more of an offensive player than Frederick will ever be. Maybe that's just got to be one time. And you go, where are we at here? You know, and Fredericks, does he have a totally no move, Duke, in the first bit? Because it wears off as his contract moves on. He has a no movement for 4 years, no movement. So that means he can't get sent down. Can't be traded, can't be sent to the minors or waived
for this year and the next 3, and then it switches to a modified 10-team trade list.
So you're not sending him down. It's like no one's going to pick him up off waivers. Blah blah blah. But maybe it's a trip to the press box. So you got to get some guy's attention here. That's the way it goes. All right. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochep T-Bird,
Connor Alley and the Duke of Delburne. 12 o'clock till 2. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. 2 to 6, Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. We've got Fox Sports all night till we're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Before all that time, now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by First Round. Sundays got even better at First Round. You can win an NFL helmet or a jersey. Plus, you can enjoy the Pro Bowl brunch only at Edmonton's NFL headquarters, First Round, downtown, or on Bourbon Street. Thanks, everybody, for listening this morning. Thanks for all the great texts. Thanks for the volume of texts, and really appreciate you being a part of the show. We could not do it without you. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 bells. Until then, here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Eight-game slate in the NHL tonight. Maple Leafs hosting the Blues to kick things off from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Lightning take on the Devils from Florida. Stars host the Islanders. Blue Jackets are in Winnipeg against the Jets. Flames in Chicago. Golden Knights hosting the Rangers, and the Nightcap has the Mammoth. Second half of back-to-back in California. They're in NorCal against the Sharks. Edmonton Oil Kings continue their BC swing with a stop tonight in Penticton. Getting underway at 7:35 Mountain Time against the Vs. And in the association, half dozen games this evening Warriors taking on the Magic. Nets host the Celtics. Pistons up against the Hawks. Grizzlies play the Spurs, who will be without Victor Wembanyama. Lakers host the Jazz, and the nightcap, Phoenix Suns in Portland against the Trailblazers. Canada men's national soccer team's final friendly of 2025 ahead of next summer's World Cup. They'll take on Venezuela. That gets underway at 6:30. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.